There you go. Man, I look stubby right now. I look rough. I look rough, man. A few minutes before liftoff. Looking roughy. Good morning in here in the United States of America. And yeah, you see some Chinese, or I see some Chinese. I see, excuse me, sorry about that. So I see on my call roster, I see, anyway, good morning, everybody. Yeah. So right now I see China. I see the Chinese ham on 17. Let me go up there. 1775. Hey, it's a guy 1775. Let me line up on 1775. So there's somebody from China. So I can hear them here at 6:48 in the morning here in Yonkers, New York. This is a little demonstration here of the catching that gray line. Of course, it's still dark outside. Not for long. In a few more minutes, the gray line's gonna go right there. The sunrise. I'll show you. I'll show you. As soon as that, see right now it's local. All the you know, me being heard. The minute that gray line comes over New York City area, in another maybe 10 to 15 minutes or so, uh, I'll get heard out there. I want to catch that maximum, like what it was a couple of weeks ago when I got heard all the way into India, Pakistan, Kazakhstan. I was trying to hopefully get Mongolia, but it didn't happen. But I did get a whole bunch of Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and all that. So, that's what I'm hoping to get today. Something like that. Something out there. Even for the next couple of hours, maybe. And this is already what's going on, what I'm seeing. You can see there's a Chinese operator, BH3HAO, that is from China. And it just updated. So I'm already getting heard in Namibia, Africa. So that gray line is getting close to over here will be sunrise. This is what I'm trying to show, that when you want to get stations like that out there, you have to get up early in the morning. It's a window of opportunity that you have to take advantage of. Okay, it's a window of opportunity that if you want to, my setup, I'm trying, many times. If I want to get China, this is the time to get China, because they're getting hurt into Europe, and then I can hit them here. So, boom, that's the way that works in the simplest form. Just like Kazakhstan and all that. Late in the evening, yeah. I hear Japan. I make Japanese contacts. Sometime I'll make well, or New Zealand, Australia. Usually that's typical, but that's it. That's like you know, and behind me, the night sundown is coming in. So that's a small window of opportunity, and then they flip the switch. That's it. But in the opposite in the morning. In the morning, the sun is coming up now. I'm gonna get hurt all the way out there. But that's only gonna last for a couple of hours before they gray line, before they flip the switch on them, before they go into evening. Okay? So 12 hours ahead. So right now, for example, I'm looking at the time here, 6:52 in the morning. So 12 hours ahead, and they're approaching darkness. Okay? So wherever that all that all that the gray line, all that daylight, all the way to 12 hours ahead, that's what I can listen to. And that's what I can listen to, and hopefully I can be heard out there. Okay? But it changes. It rapidly changes. It rapidly changes by the minute. Okay? So if you want to get a Japanese contact, I mean not a Japanese contact, that's in the evening. Japan right now is already dark. If I want to get a Chinese contact or Pakistani contact, this is the time to do it. For the East Coast, this is the time to do it. Early morning, that's it. That's the window of opportunity you got. That's the way it is. There's no on this band, and I'm not talking about 20 meters. I'm talking about in this band. So I got my little pirate guy here. And good morning, Chrissy. I hope you're doing well. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. And now I'm finally getting to the point where you can actually, they're colored now. You see where you can actually hear them. Okay, so you see a Chinese contact that 5. Let me look up that call sign. That looks like let me see 5. Just want to look that one up. 5A1AL. I don't recognize that call sign. And that is from Libya. Okay, so that's a Libyan call sign right there from Libya. Okay. So, but Libya I still got for Libya. I don't want to know. That's a few hours. But you want to go way out there. You see how the it's approaching. My target is out here right now. Out here, Bangladesh. This is Western China, Western Mongolia, Pakistan, Kazakhstan right here. This is what I'm trying to aim for. And anything here. Like, and also I believe I can this if you zoom in there. Yeah, Burma or Myanmar, excuse me, Myanmar. I can say Burma. Myanmar, Singapore. No, not Singapore. Excuse me, Singapore. Thailand, and you see, there is an outside Bhutan, Nepal. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to target right now. This is the time to do it. That's the window of opportunity that I have. So that is the window of opportunity that I have. If I want to catch those, that's it. That's gonna quickly, maybe 30 minutes. You get that window of opportunity, that's it. And then it goes rapidly, So that's why, in my case, 7 o'clock in the morning is approaching right now. Now I'm starting to see more, a lot of Russian. Some of it's gonna be Asiatic Russia, and you're gonna get some of these, like this one is Libya, of course. I just mentioned that. Okay. And there are other call signs there that you can there's this I'm not familiar with this one. Let me see what that is. Maybe that is Russian too. Yeah. But that is Asiatic Russia, looks like it's so then you have this other one right here. Let me see what that one is. Okay. Malawi. That's the one that from Africa, Malawi. The 7Q, that's Malawi. That's Africa. Okay, so that's another country I wouldn't mind receiving. Okay, so let me zoom out a little bit. So that's what I'm trying to target. I'm trying to target all of that. So as the gray line approaches them, let me put the call, excuse me, let me see the call roster. It's not going to show much on the call roster, as you can see. Yeah, there you go. That's the call roster. I know. Sorry. Let me back up. So this is, of course, 10 meters FT8. So I just want to show you guys this, because this is proven, what to call it? I guess earth science. I don't know what you want to call this. Space weather. And that's another thing. You see the TP is 3. You click on that. So far, so good. You see, that really helps too. So far, so good. He's unsettled right now, but it's green. It's good. Okay. So that's for my band right there. 10 meters, 12 to 10 meters. We're good here. You want to look at these things. And you can see now that the band is starting to, where's my mouse? Right here. It's starting to populate. So this is stronger now. Okay. If I move that here, but I want to stay here because, I want to be, don't want to be near these, I mean, just likewise, I'm taking Chris C's word right now. Just likewise, they can hear me. They can see something here, and they say, "Oh, okay, someone is here," and then they see me calling out. Okay, let me enable that. Okay, so this guy is Libyan, and so of course the Chinese guy is gone. And that's how rapidly that changes. Okay, just like that. That's how rapidly it changes. And let me see this guy 7. Okay, I'm gonna just curious to see what I don't know some of the prefixes yet. You know, been doing this for 2 years now, but there's some prefixes that I don't have. Okay, that's Algerian. Okay, so yeah, I already have Algeria, so I'm not gonna. Okay, I was wondering what that prefix is. So that's Algeria. Okay. Yeah. And also like hello Stephen, good morning for listening. That's another thing for sure. We're listening also. Good point you reminded me about certain broadcasts. Excuse me. You're gonna hear There's a window of opportunity, and that's it. Then it's going to fade away. So again, you look at the gray line. You know, look at the gray line. You see, so there's certain broadcasts you're going to hear this time in the morning. Now you're not going to hear any time of the day. You have, take into account for that. Of course, that's moving. That gray line is always going to move west. The Earth's spinning, right? Moving west. So, in my case, like I said, I'm trying to receive, but also I'm trying to get my signal, my transmit to be heard out there, and then hopefully I can, make the contact. But the same thing applies to listening, shortwave listening, same thing. So that's a good point. That let me read your comment here. That the only Eastern European broadcast I get is from Romania. Yeah, well, it is strong also. That's pretty strong. Yeah, it is a very powerful station too. But Romania is, you can pretty give, you pretty much can get it all day on different frequencies. Something more exotic like I don't know. I'm thinking more like the like uh, like for example, reading New Zealand. I could only pick that up at uh, after in the evening, late in the evening. But the best time I picked up Radio New Zealand is 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. Really, late, like like overnight type deal. You know, even with a good shortwave radio, or of course, my SDR with my loop antenna or whatever. There's a window of opportunity that I pick up Radio New Zealand. It's rarely that I pick it up earlier. I have picked it up earlier. I think I did a live stream a few months ago, and it was in the evening. It was already like 9 o'clock in the evening here, or it was late. It was late over here. It was really late. It was one of those nights that I did the live stream. I went into the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock hours doing a band scan, and then I just jumped into shortwave, and I saw the carrier. I could barely hear it, but I was, it's not nothing you want to listen to. It's just, but of course later on that night it got stronger. But normally it's after midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock. Exactly, Stefan. BBC is almost gone now. And is Netherlands radio. Okay, Stefan. I pick up Peru on 4940 megahertz at about 3 a.m. But it's all in Spanish. Yes, it's because it's they're not broadcasting worldwide. They're broadcasting regional. So you know, I need to pick up that one. I have not. I don't recall hearing that one. So this is why I'm doing this morning. I mean, I didn't get much sleep because I stood up late to watch the Yankee game, and then I went to bed. And oh yeah, you have the MFJ loop. That's right. I forgot, Stefan. So Stefan, I use the MFJ loop for that station. Is weak though. Yeah, it's gonna be weak. Plus, I think it's low power also. I don't think it's a much. I forgot how many watts they're transmitting, but I know it's low power. It's not like Radio Romania or something like that. It's very low power. And I see the Chinese operator is still there. He's still, you know, I can see him. So that's why I wanted to demonstrate this morning. I woke up this morning. I said, I'm going to demonstrate and see if I can pick up something out there. like I did the it was a couple of weeks ago when I did a live stream early in the morning, and that lit up over there, and I got a couple of Kazakhstan contacts and Iran. Remember Iran? That day, I remember that morning I saw Iran. So I want to see if I can kind of recreate that this morning. Permission, conditions permitting, and it's starting to be these 10 minutes is starting to bump up here. It's still, it's just getting started. So yeah, yeah, and I said regional, yeah, local. Exactly, Stefan. Is that Peruvian station meant for? I think it is. Uh, I think it is. I think it's a regional. It's like even the one from Mexico. I haven't really tried it recently, but I know there's the one in Mexico is regional. It's just regional. It's not like yeah, it gets out and people do, and like people do the exit, DX, DX, but I think where it's beamed at it's just local or regional. I call it not really local, regional, like South America or the South American, Caribbean, Spanish speaking countries, Central America, you know, lower part of the United States. I don't know, something like what I mean, regional. Yeah. Stephen C. I never get any more HCJB from Ecuador anymore. I have not even tried to listen to them, but yeah, I haven't heard. I have not heard them, but then again, I don't. I got my SDR not set up. I don't have it set up. I have it actually. Well, like I keep saying, I'm in the process of rearranging this basement, and I want to have an SDR set up. And I'm thinking of putting SDR on a big screen. I'm gonna hang a big screen, but I don't know which screen. I don't know if it's gone. I don't know if it's gone. If I remember, I think Jules mentioned. I don't remember exactly. I don't know if they had a issue with the transmitter. It was not that the transmitter was damaged. It has to do with something about. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. I don't want to. I know it has something to do with the transmitter. Either they lost their old transmitter or something. I forgot. Basically, I believe that they're reduced. Yeah, they used to have a powerful transmitter, but I think now they are reduced power because they're not on that transmitter no more. I think they had to. I forgot what it was. I know a few weeks ago, well, not a few weeks ago now. It's been a few months because he did the monthly thing over this. So it was a few months ago. I remember he talked. I think he mentioned it. I was in the live stream. I think he mentioned something about that. That I think they're no longer on the on the powerful transmitter. Since then, they've been transmitting at another location, and that one is reduced power. So that's why you're not hearing it like the way you used to. And this is going to happen more and more. It's been happening for years, more and more. Uh, you know, the money's not there for some of these places, and they have to reduce, or not broadcast at all anymore. It's more the norm now. That's happening. Hmm. Especially equipment like that's older. I mean, even look at Cuba now. Just Radio Havana, Cuba, and all that. You know, I remember a few years ago they got hit by that hurricane that wiped out the power in the island. They were all flying for a few days, but I said it back then. This is about 3 years ago. I mean, not 2 years. 2 years ago, when I first started doing live stream, in my one of my first live streams, I talked about it. I said even if they recover from that, which they did came back into power, but there's not going to be the same because even if it has some damage, the problem is that some of this equipment is old, and a lot of those parts are not easily replaced. They're not easily replaced. So I know that's the case with a few in Europe. I know with I believe there was a couple of long way stations. I think I read about it that just to replace the transmitter and all that, just to they just don't have the parts. So you know when it goes out, that's it. And of course, in Cuba, on top of that, you still got the embargo. So you would think that I know I know I think Jesus talked about it, but I thought about that too. You would think China would help them out because China does have quite a few stations, shortwave stations. They transmitters all over the place. So you would think China would just help them out, whatever. Maybe rebuild the transmitter or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So yeah. Stefan, I still pick up Turkey and African nations from Sudan and Tunisia. Cool. Does Europe have any more long wave stations? I believe all the British long wave. Of course, the only long wave station that we know of is the BBC Four. My Radio DXer, I believe it is still online. I believe, but I think the end is near for that one too. At the rate they're going, I don't see it being around for not too long because they're shutting down medium stations left and right, and then 198 on long wave 198 kilohertz. Man, me, I don't have my SDR set up right here. I haven't even checked all that. But then again, for me, I never had successfully transatlantic. I never successfully caught that station here. I have not had to confirm. I could hear it. The times that I did try it, I know I saw the carrier, but that's it. But it was too much in the noise to hear. No, 198 kilohertz. Yeah, the MFJ is not going to pick that up. It's not designed for that. You might pick it up. You might get lucky with the MFJ. Your MFJ is designed for 500. The lowest is 500 kilohertz. The MFJ 1886. The lowest is not designed for long wave. Unlike the Wellbrook, that is not the Wellbrook. It is 198 kilohertz. 198 kilohertz. Not megahertz. No, I don't have a Wellbrook. I wish I did, but I don't have a Wellbrook. What is this call sign here? Oh, that's Mexico. Oh, that's Mexico. Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah. Well, not only he retired, he passed away. He closed up shop. He retired. Yeah, he retired. And then a year later after that, he passed away. His name was Andy. So I made that video that they were closing down, and then his daughter had posted in my video in a comment that because I kind of said that they probably retired a little too early because of the MLA 30. I guess she didn't like my editorial about that. But that is a fact that the MLA 30 did. I think they kind of put them out of business. The MLA 30 is selling, I mean, how can you gonna compete with the MLA 30? MLA 30 is like $50, under $50. I mean, it's not a Wellbrook, but MLA 30 sold a lot. So, like my case, I never bought a Wellbrook because uh, it was kind of like out of my price range at the time. A Wellbrook here in the USA with shipping and everything and taxes is close to $500. That's a lot of money for a loop antenna. When I bought that one for under $300, the MFJ. And looking back on it, have they would have been in business for a couple of more years, I would have bought the Wellbrook. I was gonna gamble. I was gonna eventually take the plunge and buy the Wellbrook, but now they're out of business. So now, if you want a Wellbrook, you have to buy one used for somebody. The problem with that too. The problem with that too is the Wellbrook now there's no since nobody's making them anymore. There's no support on it. So if a Wellbrook goes bad, unless you know how to fix it, you're out of luck. Of course, they do. There's somebody they make some kind of clone. It's called a Well Good. It's just basically plans to make one. I guess they sell the kit, but it's not a Wellbrook. It's called a Well Good. I guess somebody reverse engineered it, and but it's not the. Actually, the one that Oxford was here the other night. Oxford Shortwave log was on the chat. And I remember, I forgot the other antenna he used. It's called a Megaloop FX. That is a very good antenna. That's the one he's using now. The NTI Megaloop FX. I'm gonna go. Let me show you if I. That's the one he's using. That's the one that he recommends now. NTI Megaloop FX. Yeah, right here. From Bonito. Moonraker Online. Yeah, that's it right here. Let me close this. So this is the one that he recommends. It's made in Germany. So that's the one he recommends. He had that for a few years now. I remember when Bonito, it's a company called Bonito. They're from Germany. They send them that. Yeah, I know they're very expensive. They're very expensive. So they reached out to him years ago, about 4 years ago, 5 years ago. That's what he's been using. The They have a few other ones, but that's their best one. So that's what he mentioned the other night. He was on the chat, and he said that's the one that he uses now, especially when he travels. Because that one, you just put the wire. You can put a wire on it. It comes with it actually. It comes with but you could put in the hotel. He has it in his hotel. That's the one he uses. And I know another YouTuber that bought that one years ago, and he had all of them. He had this one, he had the Worldbrook, and he had that one, and he liked that one the best, the Mega Loop. That's the one he liked it. Anyway, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try this setup today. I want to see what happens with this contact. Okay, so as soon as I click OK, I should not be able to log him in on QRZ no more. Let me see. So I'm gonna go to my page, and I'm just gonna have the numbers. Okay, there you go. So if I click OK, so now I logged him in on QRZ. I'm gonna confirm that right now. There he is. Wow, it did it. Okay, so I don't have to. Yeah, so I don't have to put on QRZ no more. I have it automatically set up here. Okay, for QRZ now. I had to get the API number, put it in here, and okay. So now I just do everything on Grid Tracker for even for QRZ. I wanted to test it, so that's the first contact of the day right there. So I just clicked on OK, and it went to QRZ. I didn't have to go to QRZ and put them enter it in. Okay, so that worked. No, that's what I was waiting for that too. So that worked fine. All right. So now I don't have to go on QRZ and because QRZ, the problem with QRZ, sometimes it slows down. And I gotta manually put it in. Actually, I could log more contacts faster now. So I because when you're a free member of QRZ, you don't get the API. It's an API number. That's your unique number to put on Grid Tracker. So now Grid Tracker automatically, I already have it set up for Log of the World, for Club Log, for EQSL.cc, and now QRZ. I put the API in there. When you're a paid member of QRZ, you get an API. You can use the API on software like this. That way, I don't have to go to QRZ, look them up, log them in. I don't got to. I'm doing it like this now. One click, everything is logged in. Boom. That's it. So that worked fine. I was meant to do this a few weeks ago, and you keep putting it up. So I said, this morning I'm going to do the API. I'm going to test it out, and it's working right now. So, but it kind of speeds up. As soon as I'm done here, I click OK, and Grid Tracker takes care of all that for me. I don't have to go into QRZ and look them up, log them in. I'm gonna do because that QRZ is a memory hog, especially when I'm doing a live stream. A couple of times QRZ crashed the live stream because it was slow, and it killed the browser. It killed the rest of the tabs. So that worked out good. Okay, so trying to be more efficient here. Yeah, so that Bonito Mega Loop, it is expensive. It's right now, as you saw, it's about, let me see what the price again I just saw. 489.89. That's $500. That's a lot of money. You know. My thing is that uh even a few years ago when I got the MFJ, there was still a few long wave stations, medium wave stations, of course, in Europe. But now, fast forward 6 years later, um, that's not the case now. Long wave stations are. I got an itch now in my nose. Oh my god, it's not itching. Like somebody tickled me with a feather or something. Oh my god, sorry. You know, medium wave stations are getting shut down in Europe, especially in the UK. But long wave stations are a lot less now than they were 6 years ago. I mean, we're almost down to a handful now. Almost down to a handful. When I started my channel, there was a good dozen of them, at least a dozen. There was like a dozen of them. When Oxford posted videos on long wave stations and all that with the Wellbrook, I remember the one from I know Iceland, and then there was a few other ones, and then was the other one? Anyway, there was a few of them. Now it's like down to a handful that I believe he listens to now. So more than 50% disappeared. I'm trying to remember what time it was because yeah, again you have to look at the gray line. I think it was might have been like 3 in the morning. I forgot. I forget. Because I don't even try anymore. I haven't tried for a long time. This is a few years ago. Because that's another thing that happened here too. Um, like I made that video like before I started live streaming 2 years ago. Because I started live streaming about 2.5 years ago. So it was around that time that I did the when I did the copper modify MLA 30. That time my local noise was at the lowest. I was picking up WWVB at 60 kilohertz, which is way down there, and I was able to hear it. I can't hear it no more because two things happened now. My noise floor went up, and another thing is I'm getting some kind of I'm getting some kind of buzzing sound on that frequency now. I have no idea where that's coming from, but I'm gonna assume it's some type of light, around this area, around 60 kilohertz. I'm getting is you can see the SDR screen. You could tell it's some kind of light. It's definitely a noise. So now I can't hear it, and plus it could be an LED light from somewhere. I don't know. It could be a solar panel. Could be a solar panel. Because there is a house down the block, the next block by the school. So it's a block away, but they put solar panels on the whole house has solar panels. And it's been about almost 2 years now. And that's since the time that my nose floor went up. They put brand new solar panels down there. It's a nice house all the way in the corner by the school. It's a block away. But the whole house, his whole roof, he has a big solar panels. I guess he powered up his whole house now, solar. He went to solar, the whole house. So it's two big panels on the roof. I mean, they're big. They take up the whole roof, the whole side of the roof. Because a house is like it's not a flat roof. It's like what they call the type of roof. Anyway, one side of the roof is all panels, and then on the other roof he has a few more panels, but they're like tilted, they're elevated because that's a flat roof. And they're kind of so that whole thing down there. So the house got solar panels. I don't know, and that could be one of the things. Plus, WWVB, I believe it was a year ago already. Um, they had damage to the transmitter. There was some damage. So they now they're also broadcasting and have reduced power. So they are reduced power also. So it could be anything. I don't know. All I know is that um I have the outside over here. I recently put up The U loop. The U loop was the one that picked up WWVB when I made those last videos about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, and it was coming in really nice and loud. WWVB. That's not the case now. Now that U loop doesn't pick that up no more. Doesn't pick it up. The noise floor is slightly up, and I'm getting that noise, that constant. It obliterated. It's obliterated. I go further down, I can hear the Cutler main signal. Yeah, and I fixed it because it got damaged because of the ivy. It got damaged. I did fix it. It works again, but it's not the same. I'm thinking about getting a new one actually, but I don't know if I want to get a new one now because I'm thinking about taking one of the MFJs and put it in that spot, or taking this one and putting it in that spot. So I'm debating which one. So I think I might just put this one over there on the fence and point it west and see if, because that still is a quiet spot compared to this spot. It still is a quiet spot. I just think that something's going on with the that particular frequency, 60 kilohertz, that I'm getting a noise source. That's because when I go down to 24 kilohertz, I can still pick up Cutler Main. I still can pick up the submarine transmission. Submarine transmission on 24 kilohertz, I can still pick that up loud and clear. So there's something going on the 60 kilohertz. There is a noise source that has obliterated that frequency now. So now all those WWV videos that I made, those are memories now. I may never get that signal again here for a couple of reasons. Like I said, they're now in reduced power. And two, I got more local noise now. When I started this channel, my local noise was not the way it is now. Now it's a lot more noisy. I also have a welding shop here. These people, they're on all day. Sometimes they work on the weekends with all the noise, electric motors and all that stuff. Welding, arc welding is all that stuff makes. So I don't want to buy that because it's not going to make a difference. If it's not going to improve my situation, I don't want to buy. I'm at the point now, to be honest, that this is why I dabble into. This is why I finally got my license and I'm dabbling into this stuff. There's some stuff that I have no control over. So, yeah, I'm going to get a spectrum analyzer just to look at noise. I don't want to locate my source because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. When you don't have control of something, you got to forget about it. You don't have control over it. I had neighbors. For example, I can't control what happens across the street, right? For example, the first house, for about 2 years, my medium wave band was getting obliterated because they were growing weed inside the house. I know that for a fact. They probably had grow lights in there, and they were growing weed. Until finally, the guy evicted them. He got rid of them. Because why? Because they weren't paying rent. As soon as they left, my noise floor went. I didn't have that constant. So my medium wave listening experience got better. But then another thing happened. My transformer. The transformers around here. I guess finally, when they put the new poles and they put the new transformers all down, because all down the streets, another thing they did. It was I don't know, one of the transformers must have been whatever. They finally replaced all the transformers. My noise also improved. But now it's coming back again. But I don't know what it is this time because that's something. We got new tenants here. They bring their TVs, Now this house has about 4 families living there. Because, now we got the migrants. We got 4 families squeezed into a 3-family house. You got 2 families in 3 families in a 2-family house. Also, there's a lot of people here. with new TVs, whatever else they have. You know what I'm saying? So it's just man-made noise. It's gonna go up, and you can't do nothing about it. There's nothing you can do about it. What am I gonna do? Tell the people, hey, cut it out. I'm trying to listen to some AM radio. That's it. And this is the reality everywhere. And now you have 5G prevalating everywhere. 5G is all over the place now. 5G is everywhere. 5G that interferes even with television. I know even my TV signals are getting degraded. Even after I bought a new antenna, and some days I get a real good signal on some channels. And some channels don't pixelate at all. Now, some channels pixelate, and I have not touched that antenna, nothing. And it's 5G. 5G also is affecting. You know, so there's a lot of things. It gets to the point where you know what, enjoy the hobby while you can. But you know what? That's why I'm doing other modes. VHF, UHF. I know. People say, "Oh, DMR is not real radio." That's all I may get to a point later on in life. That's all I'm going to be able to do. Like 10 meters is the sweet spot so far because I don't got to deal with noise. If I go down to 80 meters and I look at my excuse me, let me show you. You see right now? You see it's blue. Okay. If I go down to 80 meters, this thing is noisy. Okay? It's all noise. So when people say, "Oh, you got the general for what? Why I want to go down to 80 meters? It's freaking noisy down there." You understand? Like, what's the point? Just to hear, that's not fun. Even 40 meters is noisy now. Hey, hello, James Farley. Good morning. I'm just busy going back and forth. Sorry. Good morning to you, James Farley. So you know what? The fact of the reality is that it's all around you, and there's not much you can do about it. I know people say, "Oh, you should call the utility company." I don't got time for that. I don't got time to be calling people, utility company and all that. There's so much they can do. They don't care. They don't care. Uh I just made a comment on Tom's radio room show about a tree. Um, he lives in Tampa. He's been dealing with an issue with the utility company for years about a tree. So finally, when they had that hurricane, the tree fell and destroyed the power line, and he just got power. He just got power, right? So now I'm going to tell you what happened. So he did get his power back. However, he said he called, I think, a couple of times. So because I dealt with the same thing here. The utility company does not give a rat's ass until it's a dangerous situation and they don't want to get sued. Now, I had a dead tree next to my house. It was leaning toward the power line. I called them 3 times, over months. The third time I finally went off on them. I said, listen, that tree is, and I told them, I said, listen, that tree is dangerous. Anybody, I see kids playing around there. If that tree would have fallen on a kid, or if a car's parked there and they happen to be inside the car, they're gonna die. That tree would obliterate anything. If it lands on anything, it'll destroy it and kill anybody. Because one piece of that branch fell on my backyard. And lucky my son was not playing out there in that side of the yard. And it was a big branch. It was like the size of, no lie, it was about this big. Look, I gotta fit my whole thing. The branch was about this big. this big, this thick. And it fell from about 30 feet high, 25 feet. And if that branch would have landed on anybody, would have killed them instantly. Dead. Okay? So I went off on them and I told them that. The minute I said it was going to be dangerous and it's, you know, to human life, they came within about a week or two and they chopped down that tree. That's why you got to talk to them. I used to work for 311. And there's certain keywords you got to tell the operator to get action. If you say, oh, the tree's leaning over and it's going to knock down the power, that's not priority for them. They don't care about that. If you say the tree is dangerous and somebody's going to die if that tree fucking lands on them, they'll be here the next day. They came the next day with a surveyor. I mean, somebody from the tree, whatever the fucking department it was. And they said, oh, we need to chop down the tree because somebody's going to die. That's all they care about is liability. And finally, within another week or two after that, I was coming home from, you know, picking up my son from school. And I saw them with the bucket and they cutting up that tree. And I was like, oh, thank you. I thanked them. I said, thank you. Because I knew they got the call because that tree was dangerous. Because I was the one that made that call. And that's what I left Tom's message. I said, Tom, if you need next time that happens, you need to tell them that it's dangerous. There's a life-threatening situation. If that tree would have fallen on anybody, and he said, yeah, I got kids. The kids are always playing there. I said that. Because it is true. Kids do run around up and down, play there. And that, even a branch, a big enough branch falls on somebody, it'll kill them. And finally, they chopped down the tree. Finally. Right now, I have the next to my house. There's a tree stump and it's rotted now. It rotted down into the ground. But that tree was right there. That tree would have landed on my garage or destroyed my garage. But if it lands on the street side, on toward the street, anybody that's in that path, they're gonna die. They're gonna die. You're not gonna survive that tree. That tree was about 50 feet high. It was dry. It was dead. It was a dead tree. And it just kept leaning over, and every branch kept breaking off over time. Because I'm telling you, I think that when that branch fell out on my backyard, we were having a barbecue. And all I heard was boo! And we looked, and we went to the other side of the yard, and we saw the branch right there. Bam! It took three people to lift that branch. It took three of us, to take that branch out, and we put it in the front. We put it in the front of we took it in front of the house, and it was all dried up. And that's what you had to do. That's what I told Tom. I said, no, you got to say it's dangerous, and then they'll prioritize it. So I work for 311 operator, and that's one of the keywords they tell you. If it's dangerous, you got to call 911. But the tree case, you don't do 911, but you have to priority. There's keywords, and they have to do it with they have maybe 48 hours or whatever to take down that tree or whatever. Because now it's on them. And when I called them, I told them, I said, listen, this is my third time calling. I got confirmation number on the other two. This is on record. It's on you guys. I told them that. So it's on you. If something happens to anybody outside and that tree falls on them, you're gonna be liable. You're gonna get sued. And they were like, I said, that's right. I said, I'm telling you, when I say it's dangerous, it's dangerous. And that's when they got off their ass and sent a bucket here, the truck with the bucket, whatever, and they took down that tree within 2 weeks after I called. It might have been a week and a half or something like that. I know when they came, I was like, oh, looky, finally they came. Because I told them it was dangerous. And that's what I told Tom. I said, next time you need to tell them that it's dangerous. Otherwise, they're gonna, they're not gonna get off their ass. You know, they're just gonna lollygag and take their sweet time. Yeah. James Foley, I get a constant S7. Exactly. You see, that's what I'm telling you. S7, S9, all the noise floor all the time. Yeah, yeah, and there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, you could complain to the utility company about that. You're playing whack-a-mole right now. You're playing whack-a-mole with noise. That's what I've been doing. I'm done. I'm done with that. That's why look, I can still enjoy this. I can still enjoy this band. Sorry, it's tangled up over here. I'm sorry. You see how I can still enjoy this band? Look how clean that is. That's 10 meters. Yeah, does it come in all the time? No. Is it one of no? But compared to 40 meters, 80 meters, it's noisy as hell down there. Anything below 7 megahertz is a pain here. It's always noisy. And that's the fact that's the reality about it. You have to deal that there's not that what's killing this hobby is noise. It's noise. You know? Exactly, James. James Farley, I had a power outage for about 10 hours one night last week, and the noise floor was down to 1. Exactly. You know? And that's why people say, oh, get your gen. Yeah, I would like to get my general, but I'm not in a hurry to get it because I this morning I went down there. I monitored down there. I monitored down there. When I went down there, as soon as I went down to 80 meters, my noise floor went up here and it's all noisy. I heard the signal, FT8 signal. I was monitoring it because I can't transmit on it. But the noise was, you could see, I'm looking at the SDR, it's a noise. And then I said, let me look at 40. I went to 40, same thing, noise. So I'm like, why am I even gonna bother at this point get a general? Because I'm gonna deal with fucking noise. You know? I'm sorry, I hate to say it. But that's the fact. That's the what's going on now. And it's here. I enjoy noise floor down for years. That's not the case no more. Them days are over. I got a lot more people up here now. That's another thing. I live in Yonkers. It's getting more populated. You know, we went from number 5 to number 3 in New York State. We're the 3rd biggest city now in New York State. The 3rd biggest city. New York City's number 1, of course. Buffalo's number 2, and guess who's number 3 now? Yonkers. Yonkers, New York is number 3 now. We toppled Rochester. Rochester, New York is number 4 now. And then Syracuse. Okay? So we're bigger than Rochester and Syracuse. And we're not, Buffalo still got quite a bit. But we're number 3. And I'm telling you, it changed. Since I moved here, there's a lot more people in this neighborhood now, in this block. This is a dead-end block, a dead-end street. There's a lot more people here now. This used to be quiet. There was no cars all over. Now you can't find parking here. You see what I'm saying? You know? So noise is the biggest enemy. You know? Anyway, I'm going to go upstairs in a couple of minutes. I have to wake up my son, get him ready for school. So I'm going to be up and down. I'll be up and down. What I do is I'm going to just shut off the... Let me lower the volume on this. Okay, so another... Yeah. So 1 hour and 4 minutes in the books. I'm going to be on for another hour maybe or so, and then I have to do some work up there today. But I wanted to show and see if I can catch anything. But right now, so far, it's just been European contacts. I haven't really got anything. Let me check out the PSK Reporter. Yeah, so far this is what I'm getting on PSK Reporter right now. So I'm not all the way out there yet. So I don't know. It looks like everything is concentrated here, but anyway. And also, let me close this Megaloop tab, and let me go over here, and let me read a couple of stuff. So yeah, I'm not gonna buy a spectrum analyzer. It's useless. Why I don't I know what my RF noise is all around me. You're playing whack-a-mole. At this point, you're playing whack-a-mole. That's what I'll be doing. I'm playing whack-a-mole at this point. Yeah. It is still useful. I use Spec A to find out. Yeah, but again, you know, if you don't have if your noise source is outside the house, it's useless. Yeah, it's useful if you just want to know what the noise. I don't want to know what the more noise. I don't care no more. I don't care about my noise source. I'm at the point where I don't really care anymore about the you know. I mean, I already spent invest enough on this rig. And I'm gonna enjoy the band that I'm gonna enjoy. One day, 10 meters is probably gonna be obliterated too. At that point, I'm gonna be like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with HF. You understand? Just like medium wave, is slowly, you just listening to the game. Well, I was watching it actually upstairs, but you know, when I tune the medium wave band, most of the time I hear the squealing noise. I can hear it more and more now. It's just a fact. That's it. You can go out there with a radio trying to locate for why? It doesn't matter because if the neighbors, if it's the neighbor or the neighborhood, whatever, you have no control over it. That's it. You know. I used to be one of those people. Unless you have to move further away to enjoy. Quiet. I noticed it when I DX. Even with the good radio like the Qdosa, when I'm in the boiler room now, I can hear more noise now. Even in the boiler room, I can hear more noise. It's just a fact. It's just a reality that's where we at now. It is a useful tool, but it doesn't really help me. It's just I'm looking at noise. I'm like, okay, now I see where it's at, but what can you do about it? It's a losing battle, bro. It's a whack-a-mole. You know, I'm telling my situation. I don't know where you live at. If it's more quieter, but my situation changed a lot. My situation changed a lot in the last 10 years. In the last 5 years, it dramatically changed. 10 years ago, it was a lot more quieter in this area right here. Then the last 5 years, there's a lot more people now. The last 2 years, it really took off. Because that's the last thing was the migrants. Because now they're up here too. They're up here. They're staying in the Yonkers hotel over here. There's about 300 or 400 over here. All of a sudden, these people, all of a sudden, these Mexicans, I'm going to say, I don't care if it sounds racist. I don't care, people. I don't care. All of a sudden, they got all this family coming here. Come on. That house is a 3-story house. There's about 5 families. I said 4 families. I think it's 5 families in there now, including the basement. Like, I never saw so many. I'm going to say, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. I never saw so many fucking Mexicans in my life in one building. All right? I'm sorry I said it. Don't care. And that's happening here, those 2 houses. That's it. Suddenly every Mexican relative came up here. So, a lot of them came from, where? The caravans. And that house next door, a few more. Bam, another. Come on, man. I see it all around me. I put out the garbage the other night, and I see a bag there full of kids stuff like juice bottles and like in a plastic bag they threw it right in front of my house. Since when? Because they, what they bring to all their kids. Because none of them, of course. By the way, each woman that came here didn't come with one kid. She came with like 3 kids. You know, 3 kids. So you're getting me started with all this stuff already, Stefan. Seriously. Nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. That's it. And that's what I'm dealing with now. This area has dramatically changed in the last 2 years. Okay? When I say dramatically, I'm talking about, the dead end street. There's about 4 vehicles blocking the dead end street. They all park like a parking lot. They're all like that. One of them has to honk at 6 in the morning to tell the others to move so they can get out. It's that many cars here now. This whole block, there's no more parking. They all fight for parking now. And a couple of us try to block my driveway a few times. And I got to a point now that my wife parks on the driveway. So to prevent from other people using our driveway. It's ridiculous now. It's overpopulated now. Not to mention people live in New York City in droves. And they're moving where? To Yonkers. They're moving up here. All the people that live in New York City that got fed up with the city, they're moving here. So right now, don't be surprised in about 10 more years, maybe not this census coming up, maybe the next census, we'll probably hit 1 million or 500,000 at least or whatever. I don't know. Because right now we went over, I forgot the number. Jesus Christ. I know we're number 3 in the state. So yeah, I won't be surprised if the population doubles in the next 10 to 15 years. Literally double. Especially people leaving New York City. So spectrum analyzer is not going to do shit for me. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. I don't care. Seriously, don't care. 5G is everywhere, but 5G transmitter by law that's not true. That's not true. They interfere with TV all the time. Tyler made a video on it the other day. They interfere with television. As a matter of fact, he recommends that you buy a 5G filter for your antenna now. For my TV antenna, you got to buy a 5G filter. So I'm gonna have to buy one because I didn't notice it. He said, ever noticed that your television reception is going bad? And it has. It has. I noticed a lot of my channels are pixelating now, and I haven't changed the location on it, but I know it's the 5G. It's 5G. It's a 5G. So that's not true about that by law, whatever. That's not true. By law, maybe, but it doesn't. That's that. Is it being enforced? No, it's not being enforced. And they recommend 5G filter. Yep. You have to use a 5G, and yeah, exactly. But I'm not saying that they use a 5G filter. I don't know. I'm talking about right now. I'm gonna have to get a 5G filter because I didn't notice it. I thought my antenna was messing up, but it's not that. It's a brand new coax, brand new antenna going into that TV over there. And I'm telling you right now, I gotta go upstairs and pick up my wake my son up. I'll be right back. I'll be in and out for the next 20 minutes, and then I'll take him to school. Be right back. All right, let me see. There we go. Yeah, I just woke up my son. I'll go back upstairs in about 5 minutes or so. Getting my son ready for school. All right, enable. Right now I don't have to click no more. I just click and that's it. All right, let me read some of the stuff. Sorry about that. Yeah, 5G's everywhere, but that's the fact. It's just that we have more noise than ever now. Yeah, James Foley, I had a power outage. Actually, Stefan, let me read the next one. All 5G transmitter use RF filters to knock out harmonics. Yeah, I know, but Tyler, yeah, I know he still recommends, and I noticed it too. That even though I have a brand new antenna, I have brand new coax going into the TV over there, and I even put it at the best spot. I got a lot of channels, but I noticed that there's days that and the fall is here, so the leaves are falling. You would think my signal will get better because of the foliage is slowly going away. That's not the case. I'm still getting pixelation on some channels. So he says that most likely it is 5G. So he recommends that. So that's the next thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy a filter for Channel Master. It's about $20, I believe. I'm gonna try that to see if that because it does pixelate at times. And it's not windy outside. Sometimes when it's windy, that too. Sometimes when it's windy, I notice that it pixelates. But it's definitely, I'm still getting 5G interference. It's all around you now. And by the way, there's 6G already. 6G is rolled out in China. So 6G is gonna be right around the corner. 6G. So and you gotta understand that 3G, the antennas were a certain distance apart. 4G, they're closer. Now 5G is very close. The higher the bandwidth in terms of 5G and all that, you know, uh, I forgot what megahertz, what frequency range that is on. I forgot. Anyway, so 5G, the antennas are a lot closer, or the repeaters, whatever they call it, repeater. They're a lot closer. So they're more prevalent. Before a 3G antenna, you would see one in every block or whatever. 4G was like in every half block you would see one. 5G is like every 100 feet or 200 feet, whatever you want to. I know. I'm just throwing out numbers out there. Like one in every 300 feet, there's a 3G antenna somewhere, a repeater or whatever you want to call it. So they're very close now. So that's a lot of interference going on, and of course 6G is only going to get worse for HF, for long wave, for LF, for really HF. Let's focus on HF. It's going to get worse for HF and medium wave. So it's inevitable, and there's nothing you can do about it. Because I see it on the bands. When I tuned down early this morning, I went down to 80 meters just to monitor it, and it was noisy as hell. And then I went to 40, noisy. And then I went to then I went to 20. 20 was, that's why a lot of people go to 20 now, by the way. 20 is the band now that it doesn't, 14 megahertz on FTX 14.04. That's the band that everybody goes to. That's the most popular band, by the way. 20 meters. I said 20 meters. 14 megahertz. And 10 is now more popular. I don't have issue with 10 meters, people being there now, because the lower bands are getting obliterated. It's not a general thing. It's not a technician. It's just the fact. It's just, I keep saying it. It's reality. Yeah. James Farley had a power outage for about 10 hours one night, and last week the noise floor went down to 1. Yeah, I believe the whole neighborhood was without power. Hello, Glenn Dansler. Good morning. I hope you're doing well. When the power was out for 4 days after the hurricane, I had no noise 80 through 10 exactly. It was like I was a kid exactly. You know. Okay, I'm gonna take a break from transmitting. I'm gonna be gone for a bit because yeah, so it's working. Okay, so that click thing works. Yeah, so I'm gonna I'll lower the volume. I'll leave it like that. I'm gonna put the radio off for because I gotta get him ready to school, and then from there, so I should be back in about 30, 40 minutes. I gotta get going. I'm gonna put it on local radio WABC, and you can listen to that for the next 30 or 40 minutes until I come back. I could shut down the live stream for, but I'm gonna be back anyway, so I might as well just leave it on and on. Alexa, play WABC.
Playing WABC radio.
Oh, so delicious. Find them.
Alexa, volume max.
It has to be good.
Coming up in the
All right, I'll be back in a bit. I gotta take my son to school.
Friends in the morning. Listen for
And my
more
keys,
listen
my
for
phone.
more entertaining and informative opinions. Sponsored by Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boiler on 77. Listen to this podcast now
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Miller Report with Suzanne Miller.
Lou, Milo, what are some of the misconceptions that an average person has when you're building a building for the regulations?
That a building is going to negatively impact their lives. When a building's completed, it uplifts an entire community. Mike Bloomberg told companies, if you want to come to New York, we're not giving you a tax break. This is New York City. He turned it into a global city. So much development that it pushed into Brooklyn, Queens, and he improves the lives of so many different people. When a school opens and a hospital opens, that community benefits from it. New York City can bring people from across the country here. And there's a reason they stay here, because it's an incredible city with a pulse.
Do you work for the tourist board?
No, I've traveled a lot.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform. Talk Radio 77 WABC.
WABC New York and 107.1 WLIR-FM Hampton Bays.
WABC time check 8:12 right now, sponsored by Boulevard Watches. 43 sunny on this Wednesday, October 16th. Good morning, I'm Noam Layton. The Yankees now 2 wins away from a trip to the World Series. The Bronx Bombers beat the Guardians 6-3 up in the Bronx last night to take a 2-zip lead in the best-of-7 American League Championship Series. Fans left the stadium incredibly happy last night.
It's electric. You can't beat it. They're more special. The energy's like insane. The nerves. You can hear the suspense. The crowd's just wild. It's great.
Justin will have more on the game coming up in just a moment. Vice President Harris will be interviewed on Fox News tonight. Yesterday, she was in Detroit trying to quiet critics who say she sticks to talking points way too much.
At my rallies, I say the same thing when I go to Detroit as I do in Philly, as I do wherever I am, to make sure that people hear and receive what I think are some of the most critical issues that are at stake in this election.
Former President Trump, he was in Chicago answering questions about whether he stayed in touch with Russian President Vladimir Putin since leaving the White House.
If I'm friendly with people, if I have a relationship with people, that's a good thing, not a bad thing, in terms of a country. He's got 2,000 nuclear weapons, and so do we.
The latest polls, good news for Trump. 2 battleground states have him ahead now. In August, he was behind Harris in 3 battleground states. Groups of migrants have been mugging tourists in Times Square. Police say they're working to take down the group that are part of an Argentinian gang.
It started with snatches, and then you saw wolfpack-type robberies, where you'd see numerous individuals surrounding unsuspected tourists, frightening them, and then taking their properties.
Some of the gang members as young as 11 years old. Police say part of the initiation includes dares to commit crimes. Kids who fail to do so forced to lick the floor of subway stations. More than 90 people in North Carolina still unaccounted for after Hurricane Helene slammed into the state back on September 28th, and there are still some who have no power, no water flowing into their homes.
Many water systems and wells are now operational. However, challenges do remain in restoring water to Asheville and some other communities.
One of the leaders of FEMA disaster survival assistance teams resuming operations again today after threats were made against some of those workers earlier this week. New York Liberty star Breonna Stewart says she and her wife have received death threats ahead of tonight's WNBA Finals game against Minnesota. Stewart says the threat that came in email form include comments that are homophobic. She's asking for extra security. Your forecast from the Ramsey Mazda Weather Center. Sunshine this morning. Could see some clouds this afternoon. High 57. 8:15 now. Let's head over to the 77 WABC Sports Desk and Justin Alec.
Thank you, Noah Maladen. Sports sponsored by Pete Morgan and Peerless Boilers. Go to peerlessboilers.com, paviliontankless.com. Find a dealer near you. They are the world's best built boilers. Start with the Yanks here in the Bronx. Aaron Judge's first home run of the postseason broke the tension in the form of a two-run seventh-inning drive that helped boost New York over the Cleveland Guardians 6-3 for a 2-0 AL Championship Series lead. After a day off, here game 3 tomorrow in Cleveland. Clark Schmidt set to take the hill for the Yanks. As for the Mets, they take their NLCS against the LA Dodgers back home to Citi Field tonight with things knotted at one game apiece. First pitch from Queens is scheduled for 8:08 p.m. with the righty Luis Severino set to start against LA's Walker Buehler. Finally, to the ice in Carolina, where the Devils got doubled up last night with the Hurricanes. The final score there, 4-2. Up next for the Devs, they'll visit the Senators in Ottawa tomorrow night. The Rangers and Islanders are back in action come tomorrow night as well against the Red Wings in Detroit and Blues in St. Louis, respectively. Sports sponsored by Pete Morgan and Peerless Boilers. Go to peerlessboilers.com, paviliontankless.com. Find a dealer near you. For the world's best performers, I'm Justin Alec on 77 WABC.
WABC time check 8:16, sponsored by Bulova Watches. Discover finely crafted timepieces available at Macy's. Traffic, transit now. Here's Joe Nolan.
All right, Noam, from the RayContina.com traffic desk. If you're traveling out on the northbound side of I-95, the Connecticut Turnpike, we've got a little bit of good news here. Just the right lane now is closed between 30 and 31. Cleanup from that tractor-trailer fire that took place a little earlier on. Again, this thing, when it was going, was really burning, and they've got a big problem here with this cleanup. So as you travel on the northbound side of I-95, again, the right lane going to be out. Now, also, from overnight road work on the inbound side of the Gowanus BQE, right around the Brooklyn Bridge, there is a very rough road surface. Now, as a result of that, you're bumper-to-bumper now inbound on the Gowanus BQE off of the Verrazano over to the Brooklyn Bridge. In fact, the delay goes back across the Verrazano onto Staten Island, and pretty much the entire Staten Island Expressway is bumper-to-bumper all the way across. Eastbound 78 in New Jersey, getting onto the Turnpike Extension, an accident, 2 right lanes are out. Then a lot of volume northbound on the Jersey Turnpike main line from just north of 11 all the way up to 13A with an earlier accident, and still delays on the N, the R, and the W and alternate side of the street. Parking rules and regulations again today are going to be in effect. Drive a Land Rover from RayContina. You'll see why these SUVs are in a class of their own. Experience uncompromising performance in a Range Rover Sport, Velar, Evoque, Defender. Schedule a test drive today at Land Rover Edison, Land Rover Marlboro. I'm Joe Nolan with traffic on Talk Radio 77 WABC.
Real New York, 77 WABC.
Larry Kudlow here with an urgent warning. Washington is coming for your 401k or IRA or other retirement money to pay for their spending mistakes. That's why thousands of Americans are shielding their savings with gold. Gold has protected wealth through every kind of economic crisis in history. For a free 2024 gold guide that explains everything, please go to colonialmetalsgroup.com/Kudlow or just call 800-621-3908. Call it now. That's 800-621-3908. Please don't let Washington's mistakes steal your savings. The experts at Colonial Metals Group are the only folks I trust to help you bulletproof your wealth with gold. Please go to colonialmetalsgroup.com/Kudlow or just call 800-621-3908. That's 800-621-3908 for a free 2024 gold guide and learn how to protect your life's work. That's colonialmetalsgroup.com/Kudlow.
Talk Radio 77 WABC.
Boy, this is Sid and Friends in the Morning.
77 WABC.
A chance
happened to arrive just the other day. He came to the world in the usual way, but there were planes to catch and bills to pay. He learned to walk while I was away, and he was talking before I knew it. And as he grew, he'd say, I'm gonna be like you, Dad. You know I'm gonna be like you. And the cats in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the phone. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time then.
Well, what a great song. Want to be just like you, Dad, and my son Gabriel. You know, did a great show today. We talked about a lot of good stuff. Curtis was terrific. Alex Trayman and Israel Peter King moments ago. We're still going to talk to Larry Trump, Scott LeBay, or maybe Darryl Strawberry. But yesterday was a very special day in the lives of Danielle, Sydney, Ava, and Gabriel Rosenberg. You guys know this. I'll be honest. I'm transparent. There are a couple of congressmen that I love personally, above and beyond their politics. Anthony D'Esposito out on Long Island is a dear friend, and so is Mike Lawler in Rockland County. He's a great politician. He's great. I can't believe this louse, Mondaire Jones, is even in this race. But I happen to love Mike Lawler as a person. And my wife reached out to Lawler's office, my beautiful wife Danielle, a while back. She was trying to introduce some type of legislation to help ensure that people like Gabriel with dyspraxia get health care coverage and also make more people aware of dyspraxia when you consider that 1 in every 20 Americans will be diagnosed with it, yet most of you never heard of it. And what did Mike Lawler do? Along with bipartisan help from Josh Gottheimer out in New Jersey, put the bill together for the House and introduced legislation to help ensure exactly what my wife wanted him to do. You gotta understand, you know, it was we went through a lot with Gabriel as a little boy, and we've gone through some tough stretches. He's an amazing kid. I mean, I know he's not better than your kid, but he's an amazing kid. And to see this happen yesterday, my wife and I last night, we just couldn't believe it. And I need to thank Mike Lawler for this. So here he is, the great congressman out of Rockland County, my friend Mike Lawler. Good morning, Mike. How are you?
I'm not crying. You're crying.
Yeah, well,
let me tell you, Sid, it's my pleasure. You and Danielle are truly special people, and certainly your son Gabriel. God bless him. He's done so much, obviously, dealing with this disorder, but Josh and I were so honored to introduce the Gabriel Rosenberg Dyspraxia DCD Coverage Act, which really it establishes a GAO study to report to Congress on.
Where'd he go? Oh, report to Congress. We lost him. We got to get him back. Find out exactly what they're going to report to Congress. And I do have to thank him, too, because they could have named this bill 1,000 things, but to actually name the bill after Gabriel, just amazing. Did his phone die? Is that possible?
I hope not.
You can never, ever, your phone can't die, Mike Lawler. I mean, but he's not calling back right away, so the phone may have died. I know he's got a busy morning coming up. I think there he is right there. Michael, you there?
I'm calling him.
Oh, you're calling him. I'm sorry. Yeah, there's a good chance the phone died. So anyway, he was about to say that they're going to report to Congress. Well, let me read exactly what it says here in the press release that went out yesterday. Lawler and Gottheimer introduced legislation. There he is calling on line 2 to help ensure health care coverage for children and adults struggling with dyspraxia. Earlier this year, Lawler and Gottheimer introduced a resolution expressing support for the designation. Here he is, Lawler's back. So, Mike, you're about to say that you guys are going to report to Congress exactly what about dyspraxia?
So it's meant to report to Congress, what is currently covered by insurance and what barriers to coverage actually exist. So we want to know, obviously, what treatments are provided under Medicare, under Medicaid, other private health insurance, and what the barriers are, because it impacts about 5 to 6% of the population, and as I was saying, it's as common as ADHD. So, this is something where, I think, obviously, your wife, Danielle, has done yeoman's work trying to raise awareness, and Josh and I certainly are proud to support this effort. As you were just mentioning, we introduced a resolution expressing support for the designation of October 9th through today, October 16th, as National Dyspraxia Developmental Coordination Disorder, otherwise known as DCD Awareness Week. Wow. And you and Danielle, obviously, this is something that you're very passionate about, understandably. I have a 2.5-year-old daughter, and my wife and I are expecting our second daughter next week. And as parents, you will do anything to support your child, and especially if they're dealing with, some type of illness or disorder. And I certainly appreciate the work that you guys have done on this.
God, we love you. Thank you, Mike. I can't tell you what it means to us. I also spoke to my dear friend Vinny Viola. He owns the Florida Panthers, who won the Stanley Cup last year. And Vinny and I had a conversation last night, and the Panthers are going to have one night this year. They're going to have Dyspraxia Awareness Night, and then they're going to fly down to Florida, and they're going to take a proceed from some of the tickets and put it towards our charity. So you get people like Mike Waller and Josh Gottheimer and Vinny Viola and O'Reilly and all these people involved, things are going to improve for people like Gabriel all over the world. By the way, I'm pretty sure I've got dyspraxia too. So thank you so much for this, Mike. I know you're running out of time. I want to get to your race. I know that the Esposito on his debate last night against Gillum. Your debate is coming up against Mondaire Jones. What can we expect from that?
We're going to be taping it this morning. It'll air tonight at 8:30 on News 12. We have a debate next week as well on CBS 2 New York, and then one on November 1st on Pix 11. Look, I'm going to be direct and blunt with the voters. I mean, Mondaire was the third most progressive member of Congress. He supported defunding the police and cashless bail. He supported open borders. He called police officers racist and white supremacists. Believed that ICE agents are terrorists. He supports socialism. He called himself a socialist. He supports Medicare for all, the Green New Deal. This is somebody who wants to give voting rights to cop killers and rapists while they're in prison. So, from my vantage point, it would be a disaster if Mondaire Jones, ever got back into Congress. And I think the voters understand that. And that's why I think in less than 3 weeks, we're going to be victorious.
You've got 3 debates coming up on 3.
Yeah, I'm a big believer. The public has a right to hear from you. I mean, I've done over 50 town halls and mobile office hours, and nobody ever afforded me televised debates when I ran for the state assembly or Congress 2 years ago, and so I offered to do 3 televised debates. I think it's fair, and I think frankly, the voting public deserves nothing less.
Michael, I got to tell you this. I think the world of you, not just as a human being, and again, what you did here with Josh, with Danielle, Sydney, Gabe, and Ava is above and beyond. You don't have to do that, but as a politician, you stand for all the right things you do. I don't know why anybody in their right mind would vote for Jones. I don't know why anybody in their right mind would vote for Harris. I just don't get it. But for folks who want to make sure they help you win this election coming up in 20 days, how do they help out Mike Waller?
They can go to lawlerforcongress.com, Lawler, F-O-R, Congress.com, or text Lawler to 85007. We need your help. My opponent has raised over $8 million. This is going to be the most expensive congressional seat in the country, over $40 million. When all is said and done, we need to get across the finish line. So anything you can chip in will go a long way to help us win on November 5th.
I know you're taping this first of 3 debates in about 60 seconds. So let me quote the great Talia Shire for Adrian when she woke up after the coma in Rocky II. Win, Waller. Win.
You got it.
All right. Thank you so much for the work you've done for me, Danielle, and Gabe, and go kick his ass, okay?
Yo, Sid, we did it.
We did it. By the way, we're going to say that on November the 5th, okay? I promise you that.
We got it.
Mike Waller, the king of Rockland County, and what he's done for my family, we will never, ever forget. We'll take a short break, still lots more to do. The relentless patriot, who doesn't love Scott Lebedo? He's coming up. Oh, who's coming up next? The president's daughter-in-law, my dear friend Lara Trump, and maybe a visit from Darryl Strawberry as well. A lot more to do. Wednesday, that's it.
Well, it came from college just the other day. So much like a man, I just had to say, son, I'm proud of you. Didn't you sit for a while? He shook his head, then they said with a smile, what I really like, Dad, is to borrow the car keys. See you later, can I have them, please? And the cats in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, but we'll get together there. You know we'll have a good time there.
Download the 77 WABC mobile app now. Get the latest news and information. Listen to your favorite shows and podcasts anywhere you go. Available now on Google Play and in the App Store. Talk Radio 77 WABC. WABC Traffic and Transit.
From the RayKatina.com traffic desk, if you're traveling northbound I-95, again, all lanes were closed between 39 and 31. I'm sorry, 30 and 31. They've just got that open pretty much. Right lane only going to be blocked. And, of course, there's a ton of rubbernecking as they clean this mess up. It is still bumper to bumper getting through there. Tractor-trailer fire was fully engulfed. Cleaning up is still going to take hours. So northbound Connecticut Turnpike, a big delay. I-95 getting up to exit 30. And a big delay across Staten Island. Bumper-to-bumper traffic on the West Shore Expressway coming on to the eastbound side of the Staten Island Expressway, over the Verrazano Bridge, up through the Gowanus Pequea to the Brooklyn Bridge. There is a rough road surface there. The earlier construction left that. You're also going to be looking at some delays on the Meadowbrook down northbound coming up to the Southern State with a collision. That's in the process of being cleared up and out of the way. If you're on Route 21 in New Jersey, this in Clifton northbound, the off-ramp to Route 3, there's an accident on that ramp structure. And then also now apparently southbound on the Parkway down at 109, there is an accident in the express lanes. Transit Authority still delays on the NDR. The W and alternate side is in effect. Drive a Land Rover from Ray Katina. You'll see why these SUVs are in a class of their own. Experience uncompromising performance in a Range Rover Sport, Velar, Evoque, Defender. Schedule a test drive today. Land Rover Edison, Land Rover Marlboro. I'm Joe Nolan with traffic on Talk Radio 77 WABC.
This is the 77 WABC Market Report.
I'm James Flippin. U.S. stocks sold off yesterday. The recent rally taking a pause. Traders are studying the corporate earnings data that's been coming out this week, and the major averages do remain on pace to finish higher this month as a whole. The Empire State Manufacturing Index plunged. It's a general summary of business conditions in the New York area and a look at the manufacturing sector. Today on the economic calendar, look for September's Import Price Index. Americans are worrying more about rising credit card debt. Fears about missing a minimum debt payment during the next 3 months increased for the fourth consecutive month, according to the New York Fed's 2024 survey of consumer expectations. Blind people and their supporters rallied in San Francisco yesterday against Uber and Lyft, claiming discrimination. The National Federation of the Blind behind the protest, highlighting ride denials and demanding better policies. It was a down session for chip makers. ASML finished lower. NVIDIA and AMD also sold off. United Health cut its full-year earnings forecast and saw its share price slip. On the upside, Bank of America shared better-than-expected results and gained for the session. Walgreens closing 1,200 stores by 2027. That's the Market Report. I'm James Flippin.
Keep listening for more. This is the 77 WABC Market Report.
When life blindsides you with an injury, you need a team that's both tough and knows how to win. For over 30 years, Morgan & Morgan has been fighting for the people. With over $23 billion recovered for our clients, we're in your corner. This season, we're proud to partner with the New York Jets. Because whether it's on the field or in the courtroom, we're both determined to do what it takes to win. Morgan & Morgan, for the people and for the Jets fans. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Discover the excitement at FT8 Casino Hotel. Come play 1,000 slot machines and electronic table games. Enjoy on-site entertainment, cocktails, and dining. In October, we're giving away $125,000 during Wicked Wednesdays. One winner every hour from 3 to 7 p.m. will spin for their chance at $5,000. 1 point equals 1 entry. FT8, where Long Island wins. If you lose a volunteer or something, please call the 24-hour toll-free hotline at 877-8-BOOKEN-10-10-Y.
Hey, Brooklyn, New York, feeling thirsty for beer, ale, and hard drinks, and feeling thrifty? Recycle all of your bottles and cans at Thrifty Beverage Center, 990 McDonald Avenue. I've been going there for 40 years. Thrifty Beverage Center, NY.com. They deliver directly to your door. Go to Thrifty Beverage Center, NY.com.
This is Rabbi Joseph Tasnik of the New York Board of Rabbis. And this is Reverend A.R. Bernard from the Christian Cultural Center. Listen to the Rev and the Rabbi every Sunday morning at 7 on 77 WABC. 77 WABC, the crown jewel of talk radio. Heard worldwide in 173 countries and all 50 states. WABC is committed to live and local radio 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. See what 77 WABC can do for you and your business. Call 929-552-7175 and advertise with 77 WABC. Talk Radio 77 WABC. This is Sid and Friends in the Morning. Entertaining and informative. 77 WABC.
I've got another confession to make. I know everyone's got the chains to break. Holding you. Will you bother me? Don't be abused. Is someone getting the best of you? Is someone getting the best of you? Are you going on to someone new? I need someone to hang on.
It's one of Gabriel's favorite bands. My son Gabriel, the Foo Fighters. Best of You. Israel getting the best of all those terrorist groups, all of them kicking Hamas's ass down in Gaza, kicking Hezbollah's ass. They have resumed the bombing, just so you know. In Beirut, Lebanon, Israel is bombing there once again, and according to the reports that I'm seeing and hearing, Israel's retaliation for Iran's missile attack a couple of weeks ago is quote-unquote ready. So if I'm part of this Iranian regime, one of these Ayatollahs or any of these scumbags, heads up, bitches, they're coming. Look out, coming. Look out. Yeah, we are coming. Iron tight, baby. I can't wait for Bibi to just hammer these people. Just hammer them. A little bit of chin music, if you will. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I love this stuff. The Mets and Dodgers game 3 coming up tonight. New York won. I can see it out of the corner of my eye. They're doing some really, I don't know what this even call this.
They're talking to like
so cool.
Yeah, one of the, they're talking to one of the guys who does Spectrum in Southern California. Spectrum News in Southern California.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So they got Pat Kieran and the little leprechaun. He's running like a baseball. And then they got, what is this girl's name?
Jen Stelter.
Oh, that's Fat Brian Stelter's wife.
It is. Yeah, Mr. Potato. She's Mrs. Potato.
That's about the best she's ever looked. I got to be honest.
Well,
wearing a Met jersey and some makeup.
Last Halloween, she looked.
Hey, she looked good.
Yeah.
Isn't she still fat though? And nasty?
No, she's not.
She's not.
No. He is, but she's.
He is. Yeah. She's still a douche. Anybody married to Brian something's got to be a douche. Let's be honest. Come on.
You look terrible in a cap, but he managed to do it.
The best thing is like they clearly unboxed the hat and handed it, like it's got the tags all over it.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, it's not broken in.
It's not as bad as Eric Adams' hat.
No.
But it's right there. You know, folks, before we get to Lara Trump, Scott LeBado, and maybe Darryl Strawberry.
Well, we think our team's going to beat your team. Yeah, so look at my hat. What can the bet be? Let's see. You put up something and then we'll put up something.
It is
All right.
a Wednesday, and we put this time
Alexa.
aside every Wednesday for my.
Stop. All right, I'm back. All right. Just dropped off my son to school. So he's in school now. And thank you for being patient, everybody. I'm sorry about that, but I was doing this early morning DX FT8. So let me see what I missed. Hello and good morning, Tasso. Hope you're doing well. Let's go Yankees. Yeah. They won game 2 last night. I wasn't gonna stream because I don't want to stream every single game. It does get exhausting. Hey, I found $1 in my pocket. And yeah, so anyway, let me get some water. I need some water. So yeah. Yeah, so they won game 2 last night. I was watching it upstairs on the 55-inch upstairs in the living room. Because I streamed earlier, and I was like, I did like 4 hours. So I don't want to stream every single game right now. I kind of don't want to jinx. And, you know, it was an interesting game. And they won. So I was like, 62. I was like, yeah. So now today, they don't play tonight. It's a travel day. It's a travel day for the Yankees today. So tomorrow they'll play tomorrow. So I don't know if I'm going to stream tomorrow. Let me see. Because somebody already asked me in the comments if I'm going to stream. What happened? No Yankees? I say, yeah. Yeah, I don't want to stream every game right now. It's, you know, between the regular stream and then at the Yankee game, that's a lot of hours. Although, right now, for example, I have 600. I checked it last night. I have 679 viewing hours in the last 28 days. The average for me lately has been about 400 viewing hours a month. I'm trying to see if I break the record. I think the most I had was 700 and something. But I'm trying to get 1,000 viewing hours in a 28-day time frame. I want to get 1,000 viewing hours. So, you know, remember, we still got the LCS. We still got the World Series if they make it. Of course, they look good right now, 2-0. Or we can just hope that they close it out in Cleveland. I don't want to hear that, oh, we should lose to bring it back home. No. You got 3 games out there in Cleveland. I close it out there. And just, you know, that's why I'm glad they brought the closer last night. Because they were talking about, oh, why is he a non-safe situation? And I was like, no, bring him in. You got to put the hammer down. That's it. You got to lay down the hammer. Everybody been saying that. That's got a nice haircut. It's just a regular haircut. My wife cut it with the clippers. It's just you know what happened? My hair's growing too long. My hair grows very fast. Right now, see, it's I tell you, just use number 1, just clean it up over here. That's it. Because I used to go to a barber shop, but I haven't been there in the last 3 years now because they raised their prices after the pandemic. When I used to go there, it was $10. The haircut was $10. 5 years ago, the haircut there was $10. It was a long day yesterday, but I saw you were live. Okay. Yeah, I know you're in school and all that too. So the haircut used to be $10, and I will give them a $5 tip. So my typical haircut every 2 or 3 months is about $15. After the pandemic, it went up to $20. they double the price of the haircut. And then I like to leave them a tip. So basically it's $25. So I say I'm not paying $25 for a haircut anymore. The only difference between this haircut and a skin fade is excuse me, my God, my throat is like is the fade, the fade, right? They use the razor and they blend this. A skin fade. My hair's short up here, but they usually give me a skin fade right here. So that's the only difference. So I say I'm not paying $25 just to get a skin fade. I told my wife, you cutting my hair during the pandemic. When everything was closed during the pandemic, and I needed a haircut, I told my wife just take the clipper, put in number one, and just take care of it. And that's what she was doing. So all these haircuts you've seen, yeah, I know she's good. So all these haircuts is my wife. For the last 2 years, all the live streams you seen a haircut, that's my wife. Before that, I would go to the barber shop. Yeah, before that, I would go to the barber shop. But now when they raise their price, $20 plus $5 tip, $25 for a haircut like this, when my wife could do it, it only takes, plus over there, I got to wait. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's people in front of me, I got to wait like an hour or two. So that barber shop, sometimes I had to wait almost 2 hours. Not 2 hours, but like at least an hour. I think the longest I waited was like an hour. Now in the Bronx, where I lived in the Bronx, right? There was a barber nearby, and he was the only barber I trusted. I had to sign a book. You got to put your name on a book. And sometimes you be there for almost 2 hours. And they had like 3 or 4 barbers. But I would always pick my man Gustavo. That's his name, Gustavo. I would pick him. I said, no, I want G. And then finally another guy knew how to cut hair. Okay, he knew how to do the skin fade real nice. Cause I like my fade to be nice and yeah, it's exactly a reservation. Sometimes I would call. I would call so they could sign me in the book. Yeah, point me to get a haircut. So I had the number, so I would call Gustavo. Este es Danny, poneme en el libro, put me in the book, And yo voy a estar ahí como 10, 15 minutos, because sometimes there's like 6 people in front of you, 5 people in front of you, So you gotta sign the book. Sometimes I would call and say, can you put me in the book? And I walk over there. Because I lived at Tremont Avenue is about a good 3 long blocks away. So I would call ahead. I would say, Gustavo, put me in the book. So he would put my name, Danny, So he knew, because that's the barber I grew up with. Before that, his name was Tony, but he retired. He sold the barbershop to Gustavo. Tony was a Puerto Rican barber. He cut my hair since I was little, since I was in the 5th grade. So 5th grade all the way to, into my 30s. And then he retired and he sold the barbershop to Gustavo, Ecuadorian. He's an Ecuadorian guy. So that was the guy that was cutting my hair all the way until I moved here. And then over here, I had to look for new barbers. So there was a barber down there. They're Dominican. They charged me an arm and a leg. And plus over there, I had to wait too. There was too many people. So finally, there's a beauty shop over here. A Mexican woman. They're sisters. It's 3 Mexican sisters. They're all sisters. And there's like 4 chairs over there. So finally I went over there and there's 2 of them that I let them cut my hair. So they were my regular for the last few years until they raised the price. When they raised the price, I said, I can't. This, $25 because it's $20 plus I give them a tip, because she takes her time. She's nice. We talk, but I just can't no more. I can't afford that. Everything went through the roof. So I told my wife, listen, because during the pandemic, she kept cutting my hair. So I said, you know what? This is the way my haircut is going to be from now on. That's it. Until she can learn how to blend this. Because how you learn how to do the fade is, if I was cutting somebody else's hair, I know how to do it. But to do your own hair, I can't do that. I can't do my own. Because I know how it is to cut a fade. What you do is You got to use different attachments. So this is number one. All this is the same clip. It's a number one. But you know, they have like the number 2, number 3. They have different ones. And you know, so I could have done it. You know, if I knew, like if somebody knew how to do a fade for me, you know, like but my brother Harry can't do it because he's legally blind in one eye. My son, the only thing I kept telling my son, Sanjay, cut my hair, because I want him to learn how to cut hair. You know. So one day he's gonna probably want to cut my hair. Just like my wife, my wife's hair is very long, so sometimes she wants me to cut the tips. So sometimes I cut my wife's hair. I be careful, you know. Sometimes you tell me just cut, you know, she'll say, you know, because just to even cut your hair, like my wife, forget it, it's like $50. It's crazy. With 15 euros, okay, yeah, but that's not 15 euros is like $20 US dollars, right? So yeah, so that's about the going rate. Yeah, thank you. She does a good job. And hello, Mika. Hope you're doing well. I went also to the barber and asked him to cut all my hair with a machine. Yeah, because that's another thing. As you get older, my hair now, you know, as you get older, your hair gets more dry. It's more whiter. It's more whiter. It's a lot. So right now, even if I let my hair grow, it's white. It's practically white. So, and I'm not. I stopped. I dyed my hair a few times. Like for my wedding, I dyed my hair because I already had some, you know. So for my wedding, 14 years ago, 12 years ago, excuse me, 12 years ago, I dyed my hair because, you know, I had a fade and I dyed my hair, you know, I put, you know, dark brown hair just for the, you know, because I'm looking at the wedding picture right now, you know, my wedding picture, see. Oh my God, this thing is tangled up here. What's going on? See my wedding photo. Niagara Falls, see? My wife's wedding. My wife's wearing her Indian bride outfit, and I'm wearing the Indian Hindu groom. And we're right there by the Niagara Falls. It was freezing that day. But I'm not dyeing my hair no more. I'm beyond that already. You know, that's when I was like, oh man, I'm getting, you know, you go through that phase. I'm getting old and looking. No, now I forget it. Now I'm starting to get gray hairs on my eyebrows. Of course, I got white hair now on my face. You know, I got the salt and pepper now. I'm old now. It's official. I'm not 80, but hey, I look forward to that. But at some point, and so during the pandemic, I just thought, you know what, just cut my hair. Just that's it. And I'm not losing my hair. I mean, my what they call that? What they call this line? My hair has receded up here. Before, it was right here. Now it's up here. But I'm not losing hair. But still, at this point in my life, I don't mind if I was bald. Just one less thing to worry about grooming. Hairline. There you go, the hairline. As you get older, it goes up, it goes higher. At one time it was here, then it goes here. Now it's all the way up here. So. Yeah, so she cuts it, and of course now she cleans it up around here too with the trimmer. So yeah, and it makes you look a little younger because when my hair was all puffed up, it looked like, oh my God. I try to pack it down with gel sometime. The gel, when it dries up, it gets flaky. Ugh. This is much better. I actually more comfortable with I'm comfortable with my hair like this, cut low. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to spend a few minutes combing here. just I'm ready to go. I gotta take off my shirt. I'm warm right now. I think that walk warmed me up. Let me put the fan on. Let me just cool off for a minute. Let me look at the PSK reporter. Yeah, you see, it's a lot more populated now. Now the gray line is all the way over here now. And you see now it's in the Midwest, past the Midwest. So since I started the live stream, it was all the way out here, now it's here. So I don't know. It looks like I'm not gonna get any of these countries here so far. But that's okay. You know what? You have to try. So we were talking about noise. Noise. Oh, no shampoo. Yeah, I use shampoo. I use shampoo. But now I just put a little bit because I don't have no hair, so I just put a little bit. That's it. You know, because I use Head and Shoulders. I use Head and Shoulders. I'm trying not to get dandruff. That's one thing I don't. Now when I put gel on my hair, when my hair was before I cut my hair and I put gel, I noticed it would flake a lot. I would get it on my shirt. The gel, it's in the bathroom. The gel, when it dries up, it does flake. And if I wear a dark shirt, you could sometimes you see it. Oh my god! But now I don't have to put gel because my hair's so short now. I don't need gel. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's expensive now. Well, I don't know. She doesn't want to be on camera. She's not ready to be on camera to do videos. She doesn't want to do it. So on my channel, no, she won't do it. Because she manages the Sanjay channel. Most of the videos out of there are shot by my son. Shoots some of them, but she's in charge of uploading them, the editing. She does all the editing. Like some of them, she'll play back music with it or something. She'll put her YouTube music on it. So she's the one that runs that channel. Yeah, it's an entertaining channel. I mean, she's doing a good job running that channel. Right now, it has about over 300,000 views. He's about 480 subs. Some of them, like for example, the other day we went to the farm. Saturday we went to a farm in upstate New York. We went by Ellenville. We passed Ellenville, New York. Is a farm up there we went to. So she already posted a couple of videos of the farm. There was one that we were walking on top of hay bales. And I think there's another video she just posted. So yeah, it's a nice channel. I mean, they're having fun with it. And it's a random stuff that she posts about that. Some videos are a little older. Some of them are just brand new that we just like she posted the one about my scab. When she the scab. And that video is that's the 67,000 views of the scab when she removed the scab. And it was blood. And then she took she was cleaning it up with the Q-tip. So she filmed that. And that video got 67,000 views. It got more views than anything on this channel. 67,000 views. I don't got nothing near that in this channel. It's crazy. So, Mika, I am joking, but it's easy to watch, man, when I don't have it. Yeah, it is, of course, easy. Yeah, well, my bottle, Head and Shoulders, I have that for months. It lasts me for a long time. Even when my hair grows, my hair is short anyway, even when it was growing. That bottle, I had it for, it probably lasts me a year. Head and Shoulders bottle. I get the one from Sam's Club, which is a nice big. Lasts me for about a year, probably even more than a year. Because is you only put so much of it. You don't put a lot. You put just a little bit. And the Head and Shoulders that I use, and that's it. That works for me. I only do it once or twice. That's it, and that's it, and that's it, and it's pretty good. That's what I've been using for the last a long time. Head and Shoulders. So, and then shaving, of course. I shave. Well, right now I haven't shaved for uh 2 days now. So right now this is like if I don't shave tomorrow, if I don't shave today, by tomorrow you can really notice it. Right now, as you can see, it's already getting. I don't like because I don't like growing beards. I'm not a beard person. I'm definitely not a beard person. I tried that years ago when I was younger. I tried the beard thing. I didn't like it. It was problem is that it itches my face. So I tried the goatee. I tried the beard. I tried the goatee. I didn't like that look for me. It's just me. I don't like facial hair. If I could, if I had the money, I would do electrolysis so it doesn't grow back at all. I would have, you know, yeah, exactly. The most 3 days I go without shaving, but I shave every other day. Exactly, every other day. I don't like facial hair. I tried it. I tried it. I tried it when I was young. I tried the thin beard with the skinny mustache. I tried all of that, and when I took pictures, I was like, man, it makes you look older. And I always had that thing about I didn't want to look older than my age. And now that I'm older, because a lot of people tell me you don't look 58. You don't look 50 something. I was like, you know, especially because I look older now because I put on weight. I put on a bunch of weight during the pandemic. That's what happened. But a lot of people told me I look maybe 15 years younger. And I was like, okay, well, that's good. Because I was in shape too. Now I'm starting to look my age, you know? So anything that you can do to help you, yeah, shaving makes you look younger. Exactly. Exactly. All right. So this is working well. Good. Yeah. So now I don't have to go on QSN no more and input. And what I'm doing now, I have it set up. I'll show you. So you can see it. So right now, for example, if I go to options, all right, I'm sorry. If I go to options, I already did that one. I go to logging, right? So you can see QRZ. Where's QRZ right there? So I got to put an API key in there. You see the API key? I don't care if people see this. I don't care because you know what? Good luck on trying to guess my passwords. API key. I just put that there. I'm trying this out today. Log, yeah. API key. So when you have a free account, you can't use the API key. But now that I have a premium account, let me check first before you see? When you have a premium account, they give you an API key. And you copy and paste that there. Right now, it's not showing because I don't want people to see it. But you copy and paste that and put it in there in that in that setting. And now I just click here, the log thing that pops up. I click on that and it automatically logs me on QRZ. So now I don't have to go to QRZ and look up the account and then log him in through there. I just one click, it goes to log of the world, club log, eqsl.cc, and no QRZ in one click. Because I got a premium account on QRZ. So now I can use the API key. I already knew that for a few months. But I didn't really test it out, and I'm testing it out this morning. And so far, it's working perfect. It's working perfect. As you can see, I'll show you. All these logs are now going through Grid Tracker and posted it here. See, all of this is today, the 16th. So I just click on Grid Tracker and it uploads it here automatically. So I don't have to come here and put the call sign, look them up anymore. It's doing automatically from Grid Tracker, this right here. So that saves a lot of time. I do the contact, the thing pops up, I click OK, and that's it. It updates all of them, the logging. So that saves a lot of time. Plus, you saw recently that QRZ has been loading very slow. And a couple of times QRZ was loading so slow that it killed the stream. So this way now, I don't even have to have QRZ open. In fact, I can close it. I'm going to close the tab because I don't have to go to QRZ right now anyway. So I can close that tab. Now, I'm not using memory on this browser as much. Less likely it's going to crash now. So they only have two tabs now. PSK Reporter and the live stream. This YouTube Studio. That's it. Two tabs. That's it. Because now I don't need QRZ open. I can just click here and it goes to QRZ. Okay? Yeah, I got a scratch here. My God, right here. I just got a scratch a couple of days ago. Yeah. And hello, Alfredo Pacino. Hope you're doing well. Yeah. So not at all. Same with me. Shaving. Excuse me. Makes you look younger. Yeah, it does. Exactly. Because shaving is also. My God, excuse me. Shaving is also an exfoliant. I know I'm going to talk about skincare. Here we go with skincare. Shaving is also an exfoliant because you're getting rid of the dead skin too. On a very microscopic level, you're actually getting rid of the dead skin. So when you shave, you're actually exfoliating your skin. So therefore, you're going to regenerate new skin. In other words, it does make you not only look younger, but you actually are feeling, you're actually younger, But I'm not a fan of beards. I tried it many times when I was young. And finally, after age 30 something, I just gave it a complete. I said, no, I just shave, and that's it. Especially now that I'm older, I don't want the Santa Claus white beard. I don't want any of that. So you see how I got the contact? Right? And this thing pops up. So now all I got to do is click OK. And you're going to watch it down here, update. Watch. I'm trying not to shake. So if I click OK, you see? It says logged into all of this. So it does it automatically. Okay? So that's what it does. So as soon as you get the contact, it's confirmed, it's completed, completed. You get a pop-up. All you got to do is click OK. That logs the contact. It sends it to a log file, and it's called an ADIF file. Also, you saw the ones that I logged in with. It sends a log to QRZ, eqsl.cc, log of the world, and club world. So there's 4 different sites I log, and that does it automatically. That's the beauty about the software, grid tracker. So when you are doing FT8, you run grid tracker and you set that up. You don't have to go to QRZ. You know, just one click and everything is uploaded. Or so you don't have to manually log in. I did that in the beginning, but now that I have the premium account on QRZ, the API key, you copy that key and you put it inside in the settings for QRZ. You put the API key, and that's it. Very easily. It makes life a lot easier. I don't have to go back and forth because sometimes it happened to me a couple of times. I put the wrong mode. I went on QRZ, I put the call sign and everything, but instead of putting FT8, I might have put FT4. I left it. And then I realized, oh my God, a couple of times I went down almost 10 contacts because I said, oh my God, I've been doing FT4 all this time. And I logged them as FT8. So now I got to go back and fix them. So in this case, it eliminates that possibility. It's there, all the information already there. I click on it, that's it. Rather than copy that and put it there, it's just time consuming. And like I said, lately QRZ has been lagging. So now I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of people, now for me, it's just I'm older now. I don't have dark hair. No, I'm not going to be dyeing. Some people be dyeing their facial hair. No, I'm not doing all that. That's too much work. That's too much work. I'm not doing all that. Of course, like for example, like the eyebrows. Sometimes I just, they sprout a little bit. I just cut a little bit. That's it. My eyebrows are not crazy, like so. Every once in a while, I see a white one. I'll just pull it out. And that's it. That's my. I don't want to say secret, but yeah, Of course, I think the webcam makes me look 10 pounds heavier or 20 pounds heavier than when I actually. When I look in the mirror, I don't see myself like this. That's why it's deceiving. Sometimes when you look at a webcam, it's like, my God, I really got a big belly. I need to lose the belly, and so on. I was in Walmart the other day on Saturday because I went to the farm. After that, on the way back, we went to a Walmart and I picked this up. Ashwagandha. Because I heard so much about it. Of course, I got the apple cider vinegar there. That one is pretty good. I do take that. I'm interested to try this one. I like the gummies. I like the apple cider vinegar gummies. They're very good. I haven't tried it yet. I haven't opened it yet. So I did my research on it. So it's supposed to do a few things. One, I noticed that I'm not sleeping well unless I'm really, really tired. So this helps you kind of relax a little bit. However, they recommend that you don't take this for longer than a few months in a row, like maybe 3 months, and then get off of it for a while, because it can make you what's the word? I heard the expression. It can make you yeah, that's what happened to me. But even before that, I was because what happened to me was I got married. When I met my wife 20 years ago, 25 years ago, I used to go jogging. I used to go walking. Um, I was working out. I had a weight set. I had a weight bench. I had about 200 pounds on the weight I had 200 pounds full of weights. I had a weight bench. I had things like that. And then she started staying with me. And slowly, I started getting rid of the stuff. I got rid of my weight bench. I got rid of my weights. Eventually, I stopped walking, taking long distance walks. I stopped jogging. That's when I started putting on the weight. And then when we got married and I moved here with her, and over here in Yonkers is not, New York City is very accessible. New York City, you can walk anywhere. You can walk for hours in New York City. Everything is around you. There's always something to see. In Yonkers, it's more dead. And there's a lot more hills. Where I live at, there's a lot more hills. That took the joy out of walking. It's very boring here to go walking. Very boring. In New York City, I love walking in New York City. Well, except for the crime. But when I used to go walking from the Bronx, I used to walk into Manhattan and I would walk all the way downtown. And then I would go from the Bronx where I lived, I would walk all the way into downtown Manhattan, all the way down there. And then I would take the subway back home because I enjoyed walking. You know, I would walk for hours. For hours. For hours, I would go. And of course, I would take my digital camera or my phone. I will always take pictures of stuff. And I always have my music or my audio books. It's very relaxing. Go for long distance walk. Very stress reliever, everything. It was I was under 200 pounds. I was 195 pounds, 190. So it was like that for years. And then when I stopped doing that, I went up to 225 right away. 225. And I was at 225, hovering there. And then COVID hit. When COVID hit, I went from 225 to 250 within a year. And then now right now I'm around 265, 270. The heaviest I ever been was 278. I was flirting with 280. So right now I haven't weighed myself in weeks. Last time I weighed myself, I was at 260, 267, 260, 265. So that's where I'm at. I would like to drop at least 50 pounds to be comfortable where I'm at. So that's where I want to be at. I want to be at 50. I want to drop 50 pounds. But one thing I have to do is I'm gonna have to quit the drinking beer at all. If I want to lose significant amount of weight, I have to give up even light beer. I have to give up beer for a significant amount of time, and that's the problem I have. Especially when you have stress issues. So I'm hoping something like this can help me relax on those days where if I don't have a beer for about a week, even for a few days, I don't get the itch to have a beer. Because that's when I do have a beer or two, is to relax. I don't drink to get drunk. All right? I don't drink like that. I don't drink to get drunk. I drink just to relax enough and I can go take a nap, go to sleep. Because my brain is wired differently. I'm wired. I think I could step. If I don't like this last night, I saw the Yankee game. It finished right before around the 10:30 ish, whatever. I went to bed around 11:30. I went to lay down in bed. I did not fall asleep until 2:45 in the morning because I just put on the TV. I'm listening. I'm watching the Crime Network. I mean, Oxygen. I'm watching the what do you call that? Uh, you know, what's that? See that's something memory. Here we go. Anyway, I was watching a documentary about a serial killer. So Yeah. So I'm watching that, and before you know it, it's almost 3 o'clock. So I say, "Oh my God, let me turn off the TV." So finally, when I turned on the TV, I fell asleep. I woke up a quarter 6 this morning. Quarter 6, 5:45. I woke up, and I heard my wife already getting ready. She had just woke up too. So I've been up since then. But the night before, I was up till 4 o'clock. So I'm trying to regulate my sleep, but sometimes it's just that I got things on my mind. My wife gets on my case sometimes about things, and sometimes I just want to go grab a beer. But I can't do that. I can't be saying, well, everything, like an excuse. No. So I want to try things like this. This is supposed to help you. It has to do with this. But I watched videos on this, doctors and all that, and they said that when you try to take this, you only don't take it for, you know, no, you don't take it. I don't, you only take once or twice a day. I'm gonna start with once. I'm not doing it, and then after 2 or 3 months, don't take it for a while because it does something. It has to do with. I know what it is because it's kind of like I hate to talk about that because um I went through that. I went through depression, and I was taking Prozac for a few months. I was prescribed Prozac. I was taking Prozac. It's supposed to help you level off your highs and lows. Basically, that's what it does. It kind of levels off your highs and lows, so you're not too depressed, but you don't get too. You basically become flat, emotionless. Emotionally, you kind of flat. So apparently, this what this does. If you take it for longer than 3 months, there's been studies that people actually emotionally flat. I don't want to do that. You see how sometimes I get hyper and I'll talk about a subject and I'll start cursing. So I can't imagine 3 months of this. I'll be like, I'll sound more, I won't say boring, but I won't get emotionally charged over something maybe. So this kind of levels out that too, especially people that suffer from anxiety. Sometimes I do get anxious. So this is supposed to help with that too, with anxiety. And I used to get panic attacks. When I was going through my depression, I also got panic attacks until I spoke to a therapist, and I did that for a few months. I believe it was like 6 months. I was going at first I was going like weekly. Then the last 3 months I was going bi-weekly every 2 weeks, and then I think the last, yeah, bi-weekly, and then I was then finally, I said, she suggested, no, you're okay, and I said, yeah, I know I'm okay, and she asked me, if you want to call in once in a while, and I was done in like 6 months. I was going, talking to a therapist for 1 hour. We had a session, like Tony Soprano, like I was like that, like I would. She would sit there across from me and she would ask me how I'm feeling, and I would say, "How was my week? How do you feel?" And then we will talk about it. Because when you talk to somebody that's very objective, like my wife, all she'll say is, suck it up. A therapist is not gonna tell you to suck it up. She's gonna find the root cause of it, and there was some root causes. There was some root causes. I don't want to talk about that because some of it has to involve my childhood, but it was a trigger later on in life. So so this supposedly help you level off that stuff. Also help you relax, you sleep better, things like that. Anyway, let me read the comments here. Also, you're talking about Glenn about the yeah. Yeah. I forgot you're studying accounting. Yeah, yeah. That's a great finance. That's a great field to get into. It's a great field to get into finance. Yes, it's called ashwagandha. Of course, this is the gummies. I want to try them out. This comes from the root of that. There is a root. So I want to try it. I'm not gonna, of course, I still got my testosterone boost I haven't taken yet. Because I do want to take that when I'm. That's another thing. I'm looking into maybe going to a gym. I don't know yet. Actually, I want to make room in the basement for a weight machine. I was this close to buying one. Actually, I saw one on Craigslist. Somebody was selling one for nothing. Actually, he was giving it away. But we don't have. I don't have a pickup or a truck or even a van to do that. If I would have told my wife, okay, let's go pick up that weight machine. I'm telling you, I used to work out like crazy. I was you know, and that's another thing. When you work out, that takes time too. That takes time. A workout is not 15 minutes. I'm literally, I would spend 2 or 3 hours easily working out, like doing bench press, this amount of sets. Then I would do like, and then of course in the gym. When I went to the gym, I could spend 4 or 5 hours there because I would get on the treadmill. I was at one point I was very fit. I would do like 1 hour on the treadmill, 1 hour on the elliptical, and I would hit a few machines. I could easily use easily 3 or 4 hours in the gym. But I would come home exhausted, and I would sleep good because I was so tired. I would sleep good. So that it does relieve that any anxiety you had after working out is gone because you're so tired you just want to sleep. So yeah, exactly. Oh, Tasso, yeah, I heard of you. So yeah, ashwagandha is all over. All over. People talk about it. It's all over on TV and all that. Uh, you know. Now, some people shouldn't take this according to doctors. For example, if you have thyroid condition, do not take this. Any issue with the thyroid, do not take it. Do not take this. Also, of course, for women, if you're pregnant, they don't recommend you take that. You know. So I'm gonna try it out, but I want to, obviously, I'm not gonna, like I said, I recommend 1 or 2 a day. I'm gonna probably start with one, and then see. And there's some other benefits to it. I know the main thing was they say also it's supposed to enhance your whatever. I don't care about that part because the libido part. I don't really care about that. The testosterone actually could take care of that, but I better be careful. Oh God. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mika. Yeah, I mean, even though it's a radio channel, I talk about everything here. Otherwise, it'd just be boring watching me do play radio all day. I talk about everything here. You know, I wish more channels would do that because you know what? I'm human. You know, you're human. I'm human. You know, sometimes I want to know certain things about certain people. You know. I know when Jill's he does his live stream, he starts talking about other stuff other than radio. That's when I'm really engaged. I'm typing. You know, like radio talk is nice for that for the hobby, but a lot of us we want to get to know the other person. Even though we don't live next to each other, you guys are my friends. You know, I love every single one of you guys. You know what I'm saying? So I wish I could meet you, everyone, every single one of you in person. So yeah, Mika, COVID time was really causing. Yeah, a lot of people's habits were really. Me, I got told. I put on. I went from 225 to 250 in 1 year, and I never thought I would hit 250. I thought I would hit the panic button before that, and I would have been working out like a crazy, crazy. But no, COVID really. In fact, I drank more. I drank more. I drank more alcohol during the COVID time than any other time in my life. That I can tell you for a fact. Because one, money. People. In my case, I wasn't making any money. I wasn't working. I had just got fired from this job. I got fired. I didn't get laid off. I got fired. But I was still able to, because I was a contract worker. I got fired from the contract, but the company that hired me, the company that I worked for, I was still an employee of them. It was just the contract terminated. They terminated my contract, but they shut down. So I was entitled to the COVID relief. So for 2 years, I couldn't even, you know, they were shut down almost year and a half. They were shut down. And then my wife was stressed out at her job because obviously she's a healthcare worker. And then of course, I was in the house with my son. My son is doing remote learning, and he adjusted pretty good, but it was still kind of stressful because my son was. I could see it. He was. So it was a stressful time. No matter what, it was stressful. So yeah, it's never too late to start. I agree with that. It's never too late to start, and step by step. Yeah. One thing is now. Another thing is my son is older now, so I know I've been a stay-at-home dad, but now that he's 10, um, I'm I'm actively looking again, and I want to find something that doesn't conflict with. I'm trying to find something for me. I'm a night owl, so I'm trying to be selective too. But if something comes up and the money is right, I'm taking it. So that means I spoke to my brother about it. I said, listen, if, you're gonna have to take my son to school, or somebody else is gonna have to watch him. And we have a couple of people. We have another one of his former classmates. They're friends, so so maybe their parents could take my son to school in the morning at least. But I don't want to go that route yet because you know not that I don't trust them, It's just, like I feel the same way about daycare. You don't really want to put your children in daycare unless you really absolutely have no choice. You understand? Because too many horror stories I hear about daycare, and I just don't want to do that. And there are studies that daycare will affect the child growing up. You know, I call it daddy daycare. Even mentioning that to him, he starts cringing. Like, we might have to put you in daycare. He's like, you can see he's anxious. He gets anxious about it. He doesn't want to, and I don't want to do that to him. That's why I rather stay at home. Even though, I could be making money out there too, but I don't want to do that. It's just you're sacrificing. You're sacrificing money, but for his well-being, money is nothing. I don't want him to have that anxiety and growing up and I didn't grow up in daycare. Thank God my mother would stay at home. But financially, we suffered. We were poor. So even if my mom wanted to put me in daycare, she couldn't afford it. So it's a different time. So I got to grow up at least without being in daycare. And my mother tried to put me in all that stuff later on, like in day camp. Oh, in the summertime, you're going to go to day camp, school, and they take you on trips. I only lasted 2 days there. And I told my mom, I don't want to go there. They take you to like the swimming pool, or they take you to a park with a bunch of other. I felt like it was school. And this is during the summer, summer day camp. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to go here because I feel like school. I'm like, I'm done with school for the year. Let me just stay home and enjoy the summer. I don't want to go to the freaking day camp. So I didn't go. After 2 days, she said, no, okay, fine. Just stay home. So I would stay home with my brothers. So I know how that feels like, and I don't want him to go through that. I don't want him to go through that anxiety, and because I know my son, he's a introverted boy like I was. He likes to do things by himself. He doesn't want to mingle with other kids all the time. Me. Let me play. Give me the toy. Let me play with my toy. My son doesn't care about all that. My son doesn't care about all that. He doesn't care about that stuff. So that's good. That's good. I don't want him to be like needy with other kids. I've seen other kids like that. They cry because they don't have friends. My son doesn't care. My son is on the computer writing code and watching videos, and he's laughing and he's having the time of his life. And he watches me live stream, and one day I can see him doing live stream when he's older. He'll be live streaming because he watches live streamers. He knows all of those live streamers. He knows that Kai Sanat guy. He watches him. I Show Speed. He watches him. Those are big YouTubers. He watches all of that. And I can see him one day he wants to just stream, play video games, and try to, entertain people. Whatever. I don't know. So, and I don't put no pressure on him to do that. My wife doesn't do that. When he wants to do it, he's gonna do it. He's gonna say, "Oh, I'm ready to do a live stream." And that's it. I see. Of course, I heard about parents doing that. They push their kid to, "Oh, you're gonna be the next Ryan. We want you to make millions on YouTube." No, I'm not doing that with him. They have that channel and now they're having fun, but he's not. He doesn't want to do live stream yet. But I can see one day he will, because he watches all of them, and he sits there. Sometimes I'm in the living room watching the TV and he's on the computer, and I hear him laughing and all that. And he shows me, he said, Dad, look. And I'm like, yeah, that's funny, right? Yeah. Meek, yes, I noticed that when I'm really busy and have stress, I drink huge amounts of coffee. I also drink a lot of it in those times, but on those times it was much more. Yeah, I used to drink a lot of coffee when I worked at the office. When I worked at the office, and I worked at a few offices in Manhattan, I would drink coffee like crazy. Like I would get one of those big cup of coffee, and I drink, and I would feel, oh my god, I'm wired. Like, and then I would have trouble sleeping at night. Sometimes I would stay up all night. I couldn't sleep because my mind is racing about what I got to do today. I go home. I'm thinking about. That's why I get on my wife about that. She comes home and she's talking to a coworker about work, and she's already home. And I said, "Why are you guys talking about work?" When we went to the farm, that's who we ran into, one of her coworkers. And right away they start talking about work. I cut them off. I said, "Stop talking about work here. We're supposed to have fun here. I don't want to hear about work. Okay? So cut it out." I told her right away. I told both of them right there. Her and the coworker, I told her, cut it out. I don't want to hear about work. You guys are here. We're at the farm. We have fun. I don't want to talk about work gossip, whatever. You know, stop that. Because that's what she does here. The minute she pulls in the driveway, she's on the phone already talking to a coworker about something that happened at work. And I'm like, I can't do that. Me, when I work, my employees try to do that. Oh, you're on call. No, no, no. Don't put me that on call shit. I'm not on call to nobody. When I come home, that's it. My work day is through. Don't call me about we got a problem. No, no, no. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that shit. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. I've seen videos, TikTok videos where they do that. Oh, we're gonna give you the phone, and this phone has to be on at all times because even though you're not working, you're always on call. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, are you serious? I'm not doing all that. And I knew people that happened to, especially Kawasaki. We would look at him like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Calling this guy had his day off. So he would like, no, I gotta call this guy, and I'm like, everybody's telling him, he's off today, right? He's on vacation. He was on vacation. I remember one time he was on vacation. Yeah, but I need to talk to him. I'm like, can he wait till he come back from vacation? And I just can't stand that. I'm sorry. You don't call me. And I made it clear to them. Do not call me. The minute I walk out this train yard, I'm done for the day. Do not call me about anything. I don't care. I turn off my phone. My personal phone. I turned it off on purpose. And it goes to voicemail. I don't care. And they will be like, well, you didn't pick up. Because I'm done. I would tell my supervisor, I don't care. They didn't like my attitude. I don't care. I tried to call yesterday. Yeah, I'm home. I'm done. I'm relaxing. I'm tired. What words do you not understand coming out of my mouth? That's what I would tell them. Would you like to repeat that again slowly? The words coming out of my mouth are in English. Do you not speak in English? I will mock them because they would look at me like, oh, you gotta be. No, I'm not gonna be on call. Don't. Hey, sometimes we need you to work on a Saturday. No, fuck that. I'm done with that shit. I'm done with that part of my life. Trying to prove to people, I'm a good employee. Oh, please don't fuck that. They're gonna fire you. They're gonna fire you. So remember that, you young bucks out there. When they're gonna let you go, they're gonna let you go. There's no loyalty. There's no loyalty. There's no loyalty. You know, because I asked them everything. You know, in the interview, that's but we want you to work on Saturday. Just say yeah, just so they can hire you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I work. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let them hire you. Then smack them with the reality. We want you to come and say, "Oh, I can't," or "I got to babysit my baby boy." I wouldn't want to abandon him just to come and work, right? That's what I would do. No, sorry. My wife is working on that Saturday. They did that with Kawasaki, try to do that with me. We want you to come this Saturday. Well, I can't. My son is home that day, and my wife is working, so I am the only caretaker for my son. That's it. I don't care because I already know it wasn't urgent. It's just they try to, that's the way they try to, they try to weed out the, I'm gonna say, I don't care people get offended by it. They want to weed out the ass kissers from the people, the brown nosers from the people that are gonna give them any type of resistance. Those are the ones that they're gonna fire first. So I'm one of those guys. I keep it real with them. I said, listen, don't call me when I'm home. Okay? Don't call me when I'm home. I don't want, and they would try to, something. I remember years ago, they would try to give me the Nextel. I would leave the Nextel at the office. When I'm done, remember the Nextel? At the end of the shift, they say you're supposed to take the Nextel with you. Bullshit. I never took that shit with me. I put it in my locker. There you go. Nextel, here you go. Fling. I would fling it in the locker. Put it in the locker. So when they would do that, they would hit the locker. Get out of here, man. I don't got time for that. Life is too short, man. That's why I haven't got a heart attack yet. Thank God. Because I don't let that stuff get to me, man. Hell no. Oh, you're on call. I'm not on call. You think I'm on call. So where were you? Don't worry about where was I. It's none of your business where was I. It's after the shift, it's none of your business what I do. You know? Are you serious? Where was I? Yeah, actually told me that. Where was I? What was I? None of your fucking business. Get the hell out of here. Where was I? Seriously. That I'm telling you, when people say, Danny, how come you have because I've seen it in my life. I see people work themselves to death. I see people work till they're 65 years old. And then they retired. And then no, I swear to God. They retired at 65. He was dead at 67. Like that. And this guy worked every day. He didn't want to take days off. He wanted to make that money. Because he went into his retirement. But you know what? You don't know when your time is up. You don't know when your time is up. Nobody knows when their time is up. He used to work with my wife in the hospital in Manhattan. And he retired at 65. Because Social Security pays you, at 62 is you get half a benefit. 65 you get 100% benefit. So he waited until he's 65. Before his 67th birthday, he was dead. He was dead. So he got to live a year and a half of retirement. Right before his 67th birthday, he had a heart attack. He died. That's it. That's it. So he worked, and he worked in the hospital for 25 years. He did 25 years working in the hospital. They gave him a nice little retirement party. Yeah. He in less than 2 years, he was dead. 2 years. He was an Indian guy, like my wife, a Hindu guy, Indian guy. People say he was the nicest guy ever. He was the first one in the office, the last one to leave. He did that for 25 years. And he only retired. He only enjoyed 2 years, not even 2 years of his retirement. And I said, that's not, and I made it clear, that's never going to happen to me. Fuck that shit. I'm not going to be one of those people. My oldest brother, Papo, same thing. He didn't even get to his retirement. 17 years in, he collapsed one day. He passed out. Within a few months after that, he lost his eyesight. Diabetes. Because he didn't take care of himself. He would work 12 hours a day, 12-hour shifts. You know, he would do 60-hour work week. You know, unheard of. He would do sometimes 70 hours work week. And, you know, when he got sick, the common law wife didn't even take care of him. She wanted him dead because she thought she was going to get some money out of that. So the kids didn't care, you know, of course. And then he died. He died he died at 62. He was 62 when he died. 62. And I said, "Fuck no, that's not gonna be me." I made it clear. I said, "I don't care. I don't care if I don't have much money. I don't care. You know what? I'm trying to live a long life. You know, whatever I have to do on the side or whatever, or maybe one day YouTube will be my retirement plan. Maybe in 10 years I'll have, you know, enough subscribers that, hey, you know, maybe I'll have enough money to supplement something. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna be. But you know what? I'm not gonna worry about that. We'll work for these companies. Say, oh, you know, you're on call. You know, you gotta be on call, and you know, we want you to come on Saturdays and Sundays. We want you to work holidays. No, I'll tell you that in the interview. Yeah, I'll do it. You know, I'll do it. Yeah, get some other sap to do that. I'm not doing that. Life is too short, man. Life is too short. I keep bringing up that stat. When you hit 50, when you turn 50, you live 66% of your life already. So that means 2/3 of your life you already lived. So you're down to the last third of your life. Okay, the last third of your life. All right, take a pie chart and you slice it in 3. So 2 of them already I lived. So I'm down to that last piece of slice. You better believe I'm gonna enjoy my ass off. I'm not gonna be there killing myself working. Hell no. And you got to look at the stats. There's stats, you know, numbers don't lie. Average life expectancy for a male is 73 in this country. Think about that. It's 73. So if you live beyond 73, you're the exception. We all hope that we are the exception. But reality is that that's the number. That's the number that, you know, I want to get past that number. So if you look at that number compared to where I'm at now, that's 15 years left. You got to remind yourself, I got 15 good years left. But and there's no guarantee about that. According to the statistics, that's what you have now. But you know, the reality is you don't know. You don't know. You don't know. Because every time I get up in the morning, I feel it more and more. My knees creak. I roll out of bed. I have to like really pull myself up, you know. You know, I have to watch the way I walk. I don't want to just fall over and twist an ankle or something. That's the reality of it. And I'm only 58. I'm not 70. I couldn't even imagine when I'm 70. Even if I were to lose weight and all that. It's just the reality of it. You get older. So that's why, you know, I know Tasso's a young buck. I don't know, Mika, how old you are, but Tasso, you know, you're going to college and you're going to graduate and you're going to do well. But don't let these people think that, oh, yeah, you know, in the interview, don't, you know, that's one thing I tell people in the interview. I know this, if people are going to say, you shouldn't advise that. Don't be 100% honest because they'll use that against you. When they say, "Are you willing to work weekends?" You say, "Yeah, yeah, I want to work weekends." You're willing to work in the evenings? Yeah, I want to work evenings. You just want to get your foot in the door. Once you're in there, then you'll deal with it. Because I tried the honest approach, the 100% honest approach. When I would say no, I'm not interested in working on the weekend, then they look at you like, okay, this guy, he's gonna give us trouble. That's all they think. They think that right away because you know what, you know, you got to know your worth. I know my worth. Okay, I know my worth. I'm not gonna sit there and what the hell? Runaway train here. What the hell's going on with this guy? Okay, hold up. What's going on with this guy? Okay, yeah, yeah, he's done. Okay, I'm gonna clear this board. Erase. Okay, let's start over. All right, there we go. Transmit again. You know, you gotta know your worth. None of that people try to bully you and thinking, oh, you know, you're gonna, yeah, if you want to get ahead, you gotta kiss ass. No, hell no. No, no, man, get out of here with that. Get out of here. Cause I seen that. I seen that many times. Companies the way they treat people. You know, when they're gonna there's nothing you can do about it. When they're gonna let you go, they're gonna let you go. And a lot of it is gonna be because they just either like you or they don't like you. Or they're gonna be jealous of you, or they're gonna fear you. I had that happen to me, my own brother. There was a time where I was out of work and I was really desperate looking for a job. And my two brothers, the ones that are living in the Bronx, they work for this company in the Bronx. It was to build boilers, you know, gas boiler as a company. And you know, I didn't mind doing that, you know, because I computer computer work for me was drying up. So I was already, you know, since I did the Kawasaki thing with the trains and all that, I said I wouldn't mind doing something mechanical, building boilers and all that. You know, I can I can use power tools and all that. So I sent the resume to the company, and you would think one of them would help me and say, you know, that way my brother applied for a job here too. I recommend him. They didn't say none of that. They didn't do none of that because they knew that if I would have get that job based on what I know already, plus college degree doesn't hurt nobody. I probably would have been their supervisor one day. And they didn't. They saw that in them. They probably saw that in me. Or nah, if they hire this guy, he's gonna be my supervisor one day because he knows. I could read blueprints. I could read schematics. You know, I'm a lot better in math than they. I'm a lot better in math than they are. You know, I worked on subway cars. I worked on the electrical. I've done mechanical work on subway cars. I've done software on subway cars. I've done testing on subway cars. I've done inspections. I've done all that. You know, so I would have went to that company with all that stuff. I would have been their supervisor. I would have been their quality, at least quality control. I could have been quality control. So they would have had to answer to me. I would have had to sign off on stuff. I know that's what would have happened. So I think that they saw that and they said, nah. So they didn't recommend me. But I knew that they didn't recommend me because I was like telling them why they haven't called me. They probably saw my resume when I faxed it to them. They probably ripped it up. My own brothers. All right. You know, and I had another guy. He was like my best friend. My best friend. He was working for a computer company. And that was another time when I was looking for a job. And I sent him my resume 3 times. And he never gave me a good word on them. He admitted it to me. At least he admitted it to me. One time we were drinking together and he admitted it to me. It came out. And I told him, I said, yo, why did they never call me or nothing? And he was like, I don't know. And then later on, I found that we were drinking one day, and he said something about like, have you would have got hired? Because I told him everything he knew about computer technician and all that, how to, you know, troubleshoot and all that. He learned from me, and he became a tech guy at a computer company. It's not a computer company. Anyway, it's a business. It's up in Tarrytown, up there. So I applied. I sent my resume not 3 times, 2 times. Not even an email back or nothing. And you would think he would throw in a word for me. Oh, by the way, a friend of mine, you know, he's very good. He actually taught me what I know. You would think he would say that for me, right? Now this guy is the one, you know, he was my mentor. He never vouched for me. And then I asked him later on, like, one time we were talking, we were drinking, we were having a few beers. And he told me, he said, yeah, I was no. He told me something like, he was afraid that if he said it. He said he was afraid that if they would have hired me, he was going to lose his job, or I would have been his supervisor. And I was like, he told me that. And I went off on him that night. And I told him, are you kidding me? This is what you you let that get between us. You couldn't even vouch for me. And when he said that, that was it. I stopped hanging out with him because I don't need people like that in my life. Cutthroat, backstabbing people. I don't want that in my life. Especially after with him, because not only he got that job, I took the police exam, New York City police exam, as a goof because he was sitting there moping around. Oh, no, the police didn't want to call me. So I said, you know what? Why don't you take that NYPD test? In fact, I'm going to sign up for it right now. So I went to the website, signed up for it right in front of his face. I went, yeah. I just applied for the NYPD. So if they call me, they call me. So he did that the following night. He was over my house, and he did I'm going to do that too. But that's what he does. So then, of course, they called me first for the orientation, all that. And I went. I said, yeah, let me hear them out. But I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be a cop. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to get into that field. I just took it as a goof, just to show him. And he went ahead and when he called me, he was like, "Oh my God, they call you. I hope they call me." Like the jealousy, like it was oozing out of him, the jealousy. So then when they called him, oh, I need to the orientation. I know in orientation they're trying to prepare you for the physical part. You have to climb over a fence and all that. So he was moping around me. Oh, I need to learn how to climb a fence. I tell you, want me to show you how to climb a fence? So I took him to Yankee Stadium. There's a playground nearby, and there was a 6-foot fence. I told him, you're gonna climb over this fence. So I did it first. I ran, grabbed the fence, 1, 2, 3. I went over the fence. Cause I've done it a million times. I can climb fences and all that. I don't have trouble climbing. I have good upper body strength. I can pull myself up. But he was out of shape. This guy never played a sport. So finally, he went over the fence a few times, but he ripped his pants. He ripped his pants, But I told him how to climb over the fence. I gave him the confidence to do that. Do you think he ever thanked me to this day? No. So from there, he went out and then me and him used to go running and jogging. So because of me, he got into shape. You would think he would thank me after all that. He never thanked me to this day. To this day, he never thanked me that I changed his life. Never thanked me. Never said, Danny, if I wouldn't have known you, I wouldn't have never become a police officer. I think he retired recently. He finally retired, I think. He would have told me, I had a good career as a police officer. All that was not possible if I wouldn't have crossed paths with you. Because you motivated me. When I didn't think I could do this, I did this because of you. You would think I would hear that. Nope, nothing. And that's the way people are. So a lot of people like that. They just use people to get what they want. That's what happened to me. He used me. But you know what? I don't hate him for it. But I remind people about it. I remind my wife about it because she, by the way, he introduced us in college. So I guess that too, he got jealous of that too. No, he got jealous. That I guess maybe he wanted her. And I got her. You know, I married her. She married me. Because he knew her before I did. And then he introduced us, within about a month or so, we were going out. So go figure. You know, I know that's the way it is. That's what life is, and that's why you guys gotta realize that. That's the way life is. You're always gonna have people that they pretend they're on you, pretend they're your friend, but they are your frenemies. You want to call them frenemies. They're not happy when you succeed, but when they succeed, they're gonna let you know it, and they're gonna compete with you. You know, when I would buy a big screen TV, 37-inch TV, he bought a 50-inch TV, just because he want to make everything bigger than mine. You know, that's the way he was. I mean, that's the way he is, and he knows that I do live streams and all that. You know, he followed me on Instagram. He followed me on TikTok. He followed me on I don't know. He hasn't followed me on YouTube or subscribed to YouTube. But I posted it there about my YouTube, so he knows that I have a YouTube channel. But he'll never come on here, and that's fine. I don't care, because I talked about that already. When you have people like that as friends, why you need enemies? I never forget that when he told me that. He admitted it to me. And he knew that I was in bad shape at one time. I needed that job. And he couldn't vouch for me. I would have done that for anybody. I've done that before for people. I'm working at a company and I say, listen, I can vouch for this guy. This guy's a good guy. At least talk to him. Let him come and talk to him. At least try to set up an interview for him. See, I would do that. But my brothers didn't do that for me. This guy didn't do that for me. Because they were, jealousy. Because they knew. They said, if they hire this guy, he's going to be my supervisor. And their ego can't let that happen. Oh, my God. Imagine Danny being my supervisor. The calamity. Let me see where I'm at now with the QRZ. Yeah, so this thing is much better. I like the way this thing works. I make my contact. I just click OK, and that's it. I want to see where I'm at now. I don't have to go to QRZ and log everybody in. Okay, so this one's confirmed. So let me go here. So now I go here. Yeah. What time is it? 10 o'clock. So 3 hours and 24 minutes in the books. I'm going to try to be on for another 25 minutes or so, maybe even. And I sent 10 because I need to do some work upstairs after noon. and then I go pick up my son in the afternoon. Of course, tonight I'm not gonna do a live stream tonight. I know the Mets are playing tonight. I just want to be on in the morning for a couple hours. Trying to see if I get a contact from. Let me see the PSK reporter right now. Where is that? Yeah, so you can see the gray line now. It's right there. So, oh yeah. So today was not one of those days that I'm no Kazakhstan, no. So today was not one of those days. I was hoping to get something more into Central Asia, but nothing today. No, no, just typical. The European countries, of course, which I don't mind, of course, but I was hoping I would get something from either Western Asia or Central Asia, and I have not even I haven't gotten one contact from this, so it looks like it's just one of those days. So, but that's why you have to try. That's why I got up this morning. I say, you know what, I'm up this morning. I wanted to try, but right now it looks like it's not gonna happen because I remember last time I did this at this time, and already I had a few contacts from, well, a few on the screen, and then I made two contacts from Kazakhstan. But today's not the case. So, and I think I heard someone from the Middle East. I know. I think Iran. I remember the day that was Iran was on the screen. Let me see. I'm looking at the call roster right now. Nothing stands out here. Nothing stands out here. Out of the usual. So no Iran, no Pakistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan from compared to last week. What else? Iran. I know Iran. What was the other one that I from last week? So nothing like that this today. Nothing like that. So you know. But that's why you gotta keep trying. Let me see how the conditions are right now. Let me check the yeah, so the conditions are a lot better now. See, 10 meters is opened up right there. Let me go back, I'm sorry. You see? And right now is conditions are very good. Well, it's unsettled, but it's green. So it's good. Okay. So right now, if I look at PSK reporter, yeah. So for the last 3 hours, let me send it. Excuse me. So the last yeah, 3 hours, 559 reception reports. So you see, 559 reception reports up there, but nothing all the way out here. So, but I can't complain about that. It's still pretty good. Okay. And like I was talking about earlier in the stream, this is 10 meters. The problem is the problem that I have, even if I were to get my general, is you know, 80 meters is very noisy for me here. 40 meters is also noisy. 20 meters is from 20 meters on up is good. Is good. but 40 meters here is not that good. That's out of all the bands, that's the worst. 40. I get a lot of noise. If I look at the waterfall, if I look at the waterfall on the STR on 40, this will be all pale, all lit up. That's noise. See clearly here, you see the signal, right? It's in the center, right? See that? But on 40 meters, that whole thing will be sky blue. And that's not all signals on 40 meters. That means that's noise. On 80, it's the same thing. So that's why, the more I think about it, eventually I will get the general. But right now, to be honest, my situation here in this area has changed. It is a lot more noisy. Okay, I'm trying to fix the focus. Okay, there you go. And like I was saying earlier, with Stefan, that's that's today's reality. And this radio hobby of ours. HF, noise is the biggest enemy. It's not that we're losing operators because as they get older, there's the newer group replaces them, but some of them are not upgrading. They're not upgrading their license because HF is not the way it used to be. Right now, I see it here on this rig, on this Yaesu. I see it. Even my SDR, but now I see it here. When I monitor, I'm doing FT8. When I go down to 40, and I look at the scope here, it's noisy. When I go down to 80, it's noisy. Even when I first turned it on around 6:30 this morning, even though it says it right there on the screen, on grid tracker says 80 meters is very active and 40 is active. So I went in there to monitor, but this waterfall lights up with the noise. So I'm like, yeah. I'm not, it's nice that it's open, but it's noisy. And that's here. I benefit here. I had a good run here for HF, but now HF is getting to that point where it doesn't matter if you use a loop antenna for listening. Yeah, it might work, but of course for this radio, I can't use the loop antenna. I have to use the end fed. That's the only antenna I can transmit on, and I can see it. It's noisy. I can hear it. It's noisy. There's so much you can do. And then I know Stefan said, get a spectrum, and that doesn't help me. It tells me it tells me what I'm seeing here is noisy. I go find a noise source, but the problem is the noise source is not it gets it is. I know in my case it's not my control. It's external. So what can you do if the noise is external? You can't. There's not much you can do. In fact, there's nothing you can do. So yeah, Mika, I wish the best for you, Danny, and everybody, health and physical and mental I so respect that you openly speak about it. Yeah, I don't mind talking about it because you know what? It's I mean, why am I gonna? What am I gonna talk for over 3 hours now? Yeah, I can talk about radio, and I do. I go back and forth. If somebody comes and asks me radio question, or they want to talk something, I'm glad to. You know, I don't want to be one of those channels where we just talk about radio all the time because I find it boring. I'm sorry. You know, I watch a lot of channels. I watch channels when I need something. When I need something to be answered that's technical, I there's a couple of them, but unfortunately, I'm going to say a lot of them don't get to the point, or they're trying to peddle a product. You know, like for example, I was looking at a video about doing the CW with this rig with FLDG and to use a keyboard because I want to use a keyboard also to type some stuff. Not only use the keyer. So a couple of suggestions. One, the software they recommend that can do all that is set up is one called Ham Radio Deluxe. I think it's called Digital something. Anyway, it's made by Ham Radio Deluxe. But that software is like $99. I forgot the price of it for 1 year. And then you have to renew. It's like a membership. And I'm not doing that. I'm not paying $99 for a software that, you know. You just sell me the software outright. Of course, earlier versions of that software is already out there before Ham Radio Deluxe bought them. I'm sorry, that's a ripoff. $99 a year for the software, you know, just sort of like just to use it. Sorry, that's a ripoff. Because they didn't even write the software; they just bought the name. So, and then I heard you can do with FLDG, but you have to have the. You can use something called Winkeyer, which it can record pre-recorded macros on it, or there's somebody that showed it with a keyboard, a computer keyboard, to hook up the computer keyboard to. You have to set it up with the I forgot exactly how to do it. And there's several ways to do it. I think you have to download another driver for the keyboard to interact with the Yaesu, and I forgot how it goes. So I'm still trying to figure that out. So there's no videos on it at all. There's videos that touch on this part. There's a video of the guy demonstrating how to do with the keyboard, but he doesn't show how to set it up. He doesn't tell you how you set this up and what keyboard can you use. Because that's the problem with some people just don't get to the point. Some people just show you, oh look, I can do this, but they don't show you how to set it up. And that's the problem. Some people just don't know how to. Like somebody told me a couple of nights ago that I would make a good teacher. I was flattered by that because I had people tell me that growing up that I'm good at teaching. And I'm not an expert on all this, but from what I know, I can at least show you that. So when I make that video, for example, when I make the video on the MLA30, a lot of people like that video and say, man, that's a good, very good video. When I made the video about the how to hook up the MLA30 to an old radio, like a tube radio, what you used to connect that to the radio. So I explained, very simple, explained it. So you basically have to buy an $8 part to convert this to that, and that's it. And I got positive reviews on it. And people tell me your videos are good, straight to the point. Thank you for showing me this. I will always wonder how someone connects this type of antenna, right? Loop antenna, this type of antenna to a old radio, like a tube radio with the screw connections. How you do that? So, all right, then I'm gonna sign off now. I'm actually feeling a little sleepy. I'm gonna take a nap for a couple hours before I'm actually gonna take a nap. I am sleepy actually. My eyes are starting to. So I'll try to be back later on today if possible. If not, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. So take care. Have a good day, everybody. Bye bye.